And you join us for the end of this one, a 2-point conversion for the win after a wild game, and it's incomplete. And that is going to do it. Tennessee Heat win the consolation of the Division II game after a very exciting one between these two.
The only consolation.
And we're just breaking in here just to pick up that last play as this game was running over a little bit. Got BP1 Sports here, Benjamin Baumgartner, Earl Baumgartner, and the rest of the crew as this Division II consolation match gets finished up. As the Evangel Blue, they took on...
I believe they took on these Chargers out here late last night.
And there's 0.2 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, so we do still have to have a kickoff here.
But this has been a wild game, and I know Ezekiel's supposed to start at 1, so we just broke into this one about this time just to, as it's been a while to finish for this one.
Yeah, the Chargers came back. They were trailing 7-35, I believe, at one point in this game. Scored 28 unanswered, and then both teams went back and forth. And the Chargers trail the Heat by 1 point. That 2-point conversion would have been game over. But now it looks like the Heat will just hold on and claim this Division II consolation game after an excellent effort by both teams. 0.2 seconds left on this clock, barring something dramatic on this onside kick. Heat will win it. The Heat stepping up, waiting for this onside kick. And the kick is off, just going to lift over the heads of everybody, and it is claimed, and a knee will end this football game. It was an exciting one. Hopefully we get a game like that up next. Of course, we had the Ezekiel and the Freedom Cowboys game a couple nights ago where it was just about that exciting.
Yeah, that was a tough one for the Knights to have to swallow with the 5 or 6 seconds left touchdown. We're going to go into those highlights here shortly as I'm looking at the clock. It's like 15 minutes for game time. We've got a couple of things we're going to do here. We'll go over the highlights of the last game. Our colleague Daryl Spears couldn't make the trip down. I know he's probably watching. And so wish you were here, Daryl. And we will do our best to keep up your legacy of announcing. But we will have we're going to try to cut all the senior spotlights in to the game today. So Ezekiel has a lot of seniors, about 12, and we're going to run a couple of those here at the beginning. Then we'll run the rest at halftime. But you guys watching, make sure you join us. Hit subscribe on YouTube, so you can catch up any of the highlights we post here. And obviously we got basketball coming up. We'll be doing those games as well.
Yeah, I believe the Knights probably have a game coming up this week or next, and I'm sure we will be up for that. But also, I think we moved everything to YouTube along with football and basketball. So make sure you subscribe to our YouTube page, like the video, so we know you enjoyed it. And like he said, we're going to go through a couple of the senior spotlights, I believe, and some highlights from last 2 nights ago, the game from Saturday night where the Knights took on the Freedom Cowboys.
So with that, we'll get to some of the senior spotlights now.
Elijah Ward, 20, cornerback, Ezekiel Academy. Defense is by far the best side of the ball. I love playing cornerback because you get to run around and hit people. Last year was my second year playing football. Wait, this year's playing. I'm sorry. This is my second year playing football. Sports memories that stand out.
Is disturbing things in the backfield, and look at that. Elijah Ward gets all the way in for the score.
Not anything I can think of.
All right, tell me about your favorite subject in school.
Well, other than lunch, I'd say my favorite subject is science. I love science. It's great. It's just, I don't know, my mom teaches science, It's great. I like animals, so biology is my definitely my favorite science. It's really interesting to study and learn about. My least favorite subject is probably English and writing. I'm just not a writer. It's not what I do. I can tell a story, but when it comes to writing it down, I just can't do it. Once I graduate, I'm thinking about going to Troy. I know a bunch of people that go there, and it's a good school, so it's definitely up on the list. Or maybe going into a trade school. I think, what do my friends think of when they think of me? I'm known as the snake guy. I have been known to catch snakes and turtles. It's a thing. I catch venomous snakes occasionally. You just gotta be careful about it. I've never been bitten by a venomous snake.
What's your favorite food?
Steak and shrimp.
What's your favorite movie?
Tombstone.
What's your favorite song or artist?
Country Boy Can't Survive by Hank Williams Jr.
Who's your favorite coach?
That's tough. They're all great, but I'd say Coach Bowden. He dislikes everyone equally. Go Knights!
Corey Murphy, number 7, Ezekiel Knights. Been playing high school football since I was in 11th grade. This is my second year playing high school football with Ezekiel, but I played a couple years JV with him before that. I play running back and defensive end, and I'd have to say my favorite position is running back. Just like running the ball, trying to run through people. Winning state last year, that was a big thing because it's the first time it's been done in Ezekiel's football history, at least for varsity. And then also going down to Panama City to play in the tournament was a big setting up thing for me from last year. I play basketball as well, kind of like that. It's about the same with football. They're both fun to me, and it's like being active and playing basketball and football. I mean, not for real. I like studying my film and then just, I guess, working out and working, making some money. My plan is to go to Southern Union for my first couple years to get a degree in physical as a physical therapist, and then transfer to Auburn for my last 2 to get my bachelor's degree from there. My baby brother called me Coco, and that's kind of just went from him to all my friends now call me that.
What's your favorite food?
Ooh, I'd have to say just a regular American food, as in cheeseburgers and wings.
What's your favorite movie?
Ooh, not a favorite movie, but my favorite show's Outer Banks.
What's your favorite song or type of music you listen to?
Everyday life, I like my country music, but getting pumped up for football, I gotta have some little baby and all them.
If I have to ask, who's your favorite football team?
Auburn Tigers, yeah. Got sick of them.
And who's your favorite coach?
It's gotta be Hunter. Not specific which one, just Hunter. Go Knights.
Peyton Leach, number 5, quarterback, Ezekiel Academy. I started when I was a freshman as a little scrub, and I had to work my way all the way up through senior year, and that's where I'm now. My favorite position would be safety on defense, and I play safety and quarterback. I feel like it's a little bit stressful coming into the first year quarterback, but I think I can manage. Last year when we played against Freedom, and this dude came around the corner when I was playing safety, and I picked him up and just struck him, and everyone went crazy. It was one of the best moments. I played the ukulele some, and I played football, basketball, soccer, and baseball all through my years.
What's your favorite subject in school?
It'd have to be science. I just like learning about all that stuff and microorganisms and everything about that.
What's your least favorite subject in school?
Probably math, because it's too much. There's too many numbers. I'm going to try to walk on at Troy as an academic walk-on, and if I can't do that, I'll just start a job somewhere. Well, most people on the team call me Leach, and that's my last name, but at home people call me Pate. Not a lot of people know, but I started out was like 130 2 years ago, and now I ended up at 230 weight-wise about a year ago. Now I'm down to 200. Just like dramatic changes.
So what's your favorite food?
Steak.
What's your favorite movie?
Ooh. Probably The Lion King. Just, you know.
What's your favorite song or artist?
Where'd All the Time Go by Dr. Dog.
Who's your favorite coach?
Coach Bowden. Go Knights!
There you had some of our senior spotlights. We'll get try to get the rest of those in at halftime. As you see, Golden Eagles warming up to our left and to our right. Ezekiel Knights.
Yeah, a lot of those guys. We got a lot of seniors on the Knights team this year. All of them dressing up for the last time.
Coach Hunter on the field, doing some interviews as well.
Yeah, good. A lot of credit to Coach Hunter. Knights obviously started off this season 2-2 and looked to be definitely fallen from their last season's success, but able to pick it up, able to go win a state championship, beat Evangel twice, and unfortunately couldn't quite get it done 2 days ago, but against a very tough and very game Freedom Cowboys. Now going to be playing a undefeated up until 2 days ago, Grace Baptist, the Evangel Lightning.
Yeah, and a tough game there as well.
Very tough, and we always talk about injuries. The Eagles had a bad injury to their quarterback, I believe, in the state championship game, which they still won, but he was out with a concussion for the remainder of the season. So we'll see who steps in at quarterback for them. Until then, we're going to take a quick look at some of our highlights from the Saturday night game between the Knights and the Cowboys.
Cut over to that.
The Knights started out about as hot as they could. That was a familiar set in the Evangel game as well. Maddie Spackman going deep on the first play of the game, 80 yards for a touchdown. Knights would use their quick strike offense to good effect in that game. The Freedom Cowboys, though, a much more ground and pound style offense. They move the ball really well on the ground, picking up a lot of chunk plays against a very tough Knights defense. 12 right here, Brendan Tormey. Knights able to find Brendan Tormey on that second touchdown, made a good catch in a tough spot. The junior this year, able to go out and pick up 6 more. Peyton Leach was really the most successful runner for the Knights on the ground, which was a bit of a surprise. Quinn Murphy did bust one big in the second half, but the Cowboys defense held the Knights rush offense to a very few plays. The Cowboys, though, their ground game worked to good effect, and they used it really well to wear down a lot of the Knights' defensive front. This was the big run from the big number 7, Mr. Football for the year for the Knights and for the conference as well. Picked up an 80-yard plus touchdown in the second half. That started off, that was actually the first play for the Knights in the second half.
And the answer is number 7, Corey Murphy, 75 yards. I believe it's 80 yards. To the backfield with
it was a very back and forth game. The Knights, this one was a sling pass to Jakyle Sims, turns on the Jets, turns upfield and finds Paydirt as well. Been one of the good standout players this year for the Knights. Kind of been a little bit of a breakout guy with Bradley Bumgarner being hurt. Number 6 able to use his speed and help the Knights out a little bit more in that game. But the Cowboys were not to be deterred. They found a deep ball of their own. This was on the last drive of the game, and that's about as clutch of a catch as you can get. And then those of you who are Knights fans with a nervous disposition, you might want to look away, as this was the play that finished this one off. 3 seconds to go. The Cowboys find Paydirt for the final time, and they were able to beat the Knights at the end of that one. There were a few key moments in that game, though, that
this was one that that was really tough to
swallow. Obviously we have the benefit of the replay, but Elijah Ward had an interception in that game. Should have had 2 from our eyes. That one looked like it was intercepted. We'll watch it again real quick in slow motion. But Elijah came up with the ball. It was against the number 6. And from there, we can see it. Elijah Ward had possession of the ball all the way down to the ground. And that drive would eventually turn into 6 for the Cowboys. It's kind of one of those what-if things that can always change your season around. Had that one been given to the Knights, maybe they would be playing at 7 o'clock rather than 1 o'clock against the Evangel Lightning yet again. But we face a new opponent in Grace Baptist Eagles.
This may be the first time that we've played them. Grace Baptist can put up the points. I know the first game of the season they put up 100-something points.
106-0, I believe, was the final score. And that being said, the Knights probably had opportunities as well to do just the same. North River Christian, and I can't quite remember, I believe it was Tennessee Heat in that second game of the year. Both of those, the Knights probably could have boasted 100 points had they chosen to do so, but letting some of the young guys get in there. One thing for this, the Fighting Eagles, they don't have a big roster, only a handful of guys out there, and like we said, missing a starting quarterback, but they do have some big boys. Their average size, they're all quite big, and watching them in the warm-up, they're all very capable of making things happen, both with their hands and their feet. But, of course, we know the Knights can do just the same. We actually ran into the team Dr. Andy Patchell yesterday as he was taking a stroll on the beach. We talked to him a little bit about seeing how the team was health-wise, because playing 2 games in 2 days is not an easy thing. And we talked to him a little bit. He said that Andy Patchell was, that his son Peyton Patchell was definitely very sore after that game. Corey Murphy actually ended up having a hand injury. He got hurt right near the first play of the game, took a helmet right on top of his hand and jammed a couple fingers. Brandon Tormey not really able to walk this morning, so we'll see how much he's featured. And, of course, Bradley Bumgardner dealing with a hamstring injury that's kind of bugged him the past couple weeks, went down at the end of the Freedom game and will probably not feature at all in this one.
As we get set here as the Eagles getting ready to run onto the field. Coach Hunter talking with the ref.
Team captains coming out for the Eagles. Only one of them, it'll be Mason Long, the senior.
And the one thing with the Eagles is they have a band.
They do have a band.
I haven't heard them yet, so I'm not sure if they're here, but they were impressive the last game.
I secretly hope that they are here.
But you guys watching on YouTube, got quite a few joining in. You guys go ahead and start leaving some comments for the team you're watching, players, as got the captains going ahead and going onto the field here.
Yep.
We'll pick that up.
For the Knights, it looks like it's all seniors. Cecil Kuhn, Peyton Patchell, Corey Murphy, and Isaiah Zorn all stepping out as team captains. Only one captain for the Eagles, Mason Long, the senior. One thing that I did talk a little bit over with one of the players from Ezekiel, we talked a little bit about in 8-man football, it's very hard to have, capable defensive backs. You got a lot of receivers with a lot of speed and no help from a safety over the top. We talked with Miles Richardson, and when they were talking about in team practice, the Eagles do have actually quite a few DBs. Definitely going to be probably the toughest we'll face this year. So we'll see if the Knights like to use more of the run game in this one. We know that's definitely one of their strong points, but the Knights also do like to go the deep ball. Matty Spackman was the preferred target for the Evangel game and for the game 2 days ago. Jacal Sims also has a lot of speed on the wings for the Knights. We'll see him probably a lot on kick returns if he gets the opportunity. But, of course, we're going to see the big number 7, Corey Murphy. I imagine he'll feature quite a bit in this game. Didn't get as much of a workload a couple nights ago, again, because I think of a hand injury. Miles Richardson was able to carry the ball to some success for the Knights. We'll see how they come out and play today. We're going to take a quick pause for the national anthem and probably a word of prayer.
And that was actually the band for the Eagles playing the national anthem. Good job, guys. Yeah,
we had the PA in there, and the band was just slightly behind them. But it's always fun to have a
I think we had a pretty good coverage of it.
We're going to say a quick word of prayer, and then we'll get to the ball game. Quick word of prayer, and now both teams getting set to take the field. The Knights already taking the away sideline. The Eagles getting ready to come out a perfect 9-0 season for them. The Knights 8-2 on the regular season, and now 8-3. The Eagles 9-1. Both teams playing a fairly even amount of games. And here come the Eagles. Said got a lot of size on them, a lot of seniors on this roster, but also a lot of freshmen out there as well. We'll see who all gets featured in this one. Of course, for the Knights, you know, you're not playing for a national championship like you did last year, so that's a little bit unfortunate for them, but motivation is going to be for all those seniors out there. Last time you got to dress out with this group of guys, and you want to make sure you make it count.
Yeah, I'm sure for both these teams, it's especially coming 2 days after a game. I know these guys were, both teams I'm sure were beat up. Players are beat up, and you're coming back out after a tough loss.
Yeah, tough loss for both these teams as well.
But I'm sure the coaches have got them ready. I'm sure the guys are ready. Both teams want to go out of here with the win as we're about to get underway.
Yeah, and for the Knights, obviously we got to watch that whole game against Freedom. Freedom play a very physical style of football, very much run it down your throat. And I don't know as much about these Grace Eagles, but of course we know Evangel, they play a very stiff style of football as well. So both sides probably going to be a little bit beaten and a little bit bruised, but we'll see if motivation can bring them through this one. As Grace set to kick off and get us underway here. And that's going to be a little kick underneath and fielded by the sure-handed number 7, Corey Murphy. Well fielded by the Knights, and the Knights offense will take the field. Last time out, one play, 80 yards to Maddie Spackman for a touchdown was the opening play of the game for the Knights. They're going to start this one at the 44-yard line, so a little bit of a shorter field to work with. Of course, last time out, the Cowboys had a kicker who could definitely kick it long, and the Knights pretty much worked from the 20-yard line, or a little bit deeper for the most part of that game. The Knights with trips to the near side. It's Corey Murphy, Brendan Tormey, and Maddie Spackman. A speedster, a guy with some good hands, and of course the power back in Murphy. Peyton Leach, the low man in the backfield. Murphy comes in motion. Snap comes, handoff up the middle, outside, and Corey Murphy has a chance to bust one early. He's busting down the sideline, has one to beat. It's a foot race to the end zone. 25-10, touchdown. And Corey Murphy gets us started with an Ezekiel Knights touchdown. Mr. Football for the conference and Mr. Football for Ezekiel Knights picks up 6 on the opening play of the Knights possession, and now they're going to walk it down to the other end to kick the extra point. But that's the second time we've seen the Knights go one play, and that one
he scored before we could even get our score bug up and
he really did.
But yeah, like you said, the last game, Knights in different fashion, but scored on the first drive.
Well, and like I said a little bit earlier, the Eagles are one of the few teams that have a legitimate defensive back core. So maybe the Knights trying to take a little bit away from their passing game, and when you invest in a guy like Corey Murphy, let him run, and he can put you 6 on the board quickly. Mac Mills, the man to step out there and take the extra point. Mills had mixed results 2 days ago, rather. This kick up, and it looks like it is going to be good. Luckily for everyone parked behind the field goal, he got a little extra leg into that, and it sailed over all the cars back there.
Yeah, they go to the other end of the field because to our right, that end of the field are houses, and you would lose. They would be gaining a lot of footballs over there as the footballs would fly.
I wonder how many times people did kick extra points over there, and just once you don't get the ball back, maybe you just decide to move it back to the opposite side.
And I think touchdowns, Corey had maybe 3 to break the record.
I believe it's probably now
And
2,
that was
I
2.
want to say.
And we're going to take a look real quick at that touchdown.
Yeah, we saw it here. Corey Murphy came in motion after the Knights set up trips to the near side. Great job setting the edge by the Knights offensive line. And once he gets into space, he's so hard to bring down. He's deceptively quick for how big he is. Well, the quick strike Knights offense does it again, this time in a little bit different fashion. But they do take an early lead. The Eagles stepping up a little bit on this one. A lot of onside kicks came from the Knights last time. This time Mac Mill's going to blast it deep, and it's going to bounce out of the end zone. And now Grace Baptist will start over on the 20-yard line.
Yeah, you wonder if Ezekiel's going to kick deep today more than the onside kick or squib kick.
Yeah, they were able to recover one last time out, but whenever you play against a team, especially like Freedom, who like to ground and pound, they only had short fields to work with, about 60 yards every single drive. And the Knights were able to hold them on a handful of occasions, but for the most part, the Cowboys were able to take advantage of it. This time, pistol formation, Grace Baptist, man in motion. Snap comes, going to be a handoff up the middle. Had a little bit of room to run, but the big number 22 closes that hole quickly. Peyton Patchell on the tackle. Well, and for the Knights, one positive is that already off the first play of the game, you have had more success running Corey Murphy than you really did the whole of the game last week, aside from the one big play that went for 80 yards and a touchdown on the opening play of the Knights' second half drive. Yeah, it looked like the hole maybe opened up for a moment, but Peyton Patchell quickly diagnosed it and plugged it. 11 minutes to go. Grace with no gain on that one. Second down and 10. It's going to be Wesley Thompson, the sophomore, stepping in at quarterback up in the pistol. And that's going to be a delay of game. One thing that's interesting about this field is you do have a play clock, but it is on the scoreboard. So whenever you're looking from our right to our left, you cannot see that play clock. So the Knights are going to have the advantage of that a little bit early, but of course by the fourth quarter, the Grace Baptist will be able to see it. Knights lead 7-0. Second down and 15 to go. Clock runs. Thompson in the pistol. Snap comes, looks to throw, fires this one a screen underneath. That one's complete and eventually dragged down. Picked up a little bit, but still not able to get back to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be a third and about 14 to go now.
Take a look at that on the replay here.
That was Mason Long on the reception. Tried to find some space, but the Knights did a good job reading the screen and bringing him down quickly. I believe that was Wesley Spear on the tackle. And a quick third down now. Again, Thompson in the pistol. Snap comes, rolls out to the near side. Pressure coming quickly, and that one's up and incomplete. Matty Spackman, the closest defender to it, but pressure came immediately from Isaiah Zorn and Peyton Patchell, and the quarterback took a minute to get up there. Fourth down and 14 to go on this opening drive. Imagine we'll see a punt team come out there for Grace Baptist. One thing about 8-man teams, though, is you never know if they're going to have a special teams or not. The Knights are blessed. They have Peyton Leach as a great punter.
I've seen him kick them 60 yards in practice.
And this one not looking like it's going to be a traditional kick. It looks like it's probably just going to be a drop kick. Thompson is the farthest man back. Snap comes, and it is going to be a kick. A high kick. It's going to land somewhere near the 50, take a nice Ezekiel bounce, and Ezekiel Knights are going to have fantastic field position. Going to start this one off on the 36-yard line. And the Knights didn't really need too good a field position to start out last time, but this time they're going to be looking even better.
See Peyton Patchell over on the sideline getting fired up. I know he was probably couldn't move yesterday, but
no,
he's ready for this one.
We talked with his dad, Andy Patchell, who's also the team doctor, who's done a fantastic job with this team all year. And
no doubt.
He talked to us and said that a couple of the guys were just stiff as a board, and Not really due to injury, but every time you play a football game, when you play against physical guys on physical guys, it's going to cause a lot of wear and tear. This is going to be a screen pass. Spackman on the reception, tries to bounce it outside. Does a good job to create a few yards after contact. That's going to bring up a 2nd down and short for the Knights. Matty Spackman, with the absence of Bradley Bumgarner, is likely going to be the target for
on the replay here.
Peyton Leach. He was definitely a good target to hit in the Evangel game and as well as the Freedom game. Brendan Tormey this time set up in the slot for the Knights. Spackman out to his right. Corey Murphy and Peyton Leach in the backfield. Brendan Tormey, the man in motion. Snap comes, going to be Murphy underneath. Shot down hard. It's going to be close to the 1st down. We'll see where they decide to mark it. That's the only way you can really tackle that big man, is to stop him early and hit him down low. We'll see where they end up marking this one. It's going to be a 3rd down and about a yard. For the Knights, you've got 2 good guys in the backfield that can make things happen with their feet. Leach can run, and Corey Murphy, of course, can run the ball. Actually, they did call it a 1st down, rather. That marker said initially 3rd, but they moved up the chain. It's going to be a 1st down and 10 for the Knights. Snap comes. Leach has time to throw. Fires one deep to Brendan Tormey, and that one is intercepted. That one not Leach's best throw. It went straight out to the safety. May have wanted to look a little bit farther outside for Brendan Tormey. That one a little too central in the field, and the safety was in the perfect position to take that one away. We'll watch it again on the replay. Leach had plenty of time to throw. Looked like it was going to be a screen pass to Matty Spackman. Went for the fake screen and then took a shot deep to the big tight end. But that one just not his best throw. Brendan Tormey tried to break it up. But Grace Baptist going to take over deep in their own territory. Going to start with this one on the 2. I imagine we'll see some Knights pressure here, maybe trying to force the safety. Spackman and Elijah Ward are the 2 DBs for the Knights. Pistol formation, Thompson. And a
not entirely sure what the call was. I'm not sure what that
looked like. A timeout maybe called. I didn't think the I think that something went wrong with the clock. Yeah, I doubt that Grace Baptist even had a play lined up there. I think they were just trying to use the hard count, get the Knights to jump off sides and get out of the shot of their own goal line. Knights, well disciplined, didn't move. And while we have a quick second, we'll take a quick look at one of our great sponsors we've had this year. We've got Zap Pest Control. Zap Pest Control, your hometown company serving your needs in the River region for termite and pest control. Visit zappestcontrol.com or call 334-244-7778. This time, Grace Baptist out there again. This time they probably will have a play lined up. Man in motion, snap comes under center, and it's blown up quickly, and that's going to be a safety. The big number 1, the senior Miles Richardson in the backfield to blow that one up. And Miles Richardson been a fantastic addition to this Knights defense this year. Been a very consistent player all the way through. 1 player of the game on that 2nd game against the Tennessee Heat and never really looked back.
Take a look at that one on the replay.
Yeah, we'll see that handoff a little bit delayed. Whenever you're that deep in your own end zone, you got to get it moving a little bit quicker than that. And of course, with a senior quarterback missing, maybe that timing is just a little bit off. Whenever you work with one guy handing off the ball all year, the handoff is about timing. And whenever you change up that formula a little bit, it can obviously throw some things off for this offense. And it should be a punt now.
Once again, more people joining in watching. You guys go ahead and if you want to leave some comments in the chat as we go along, and they can either punt or kick from the
they can punt or kick it off. This time it's going to be number 21. I believe that was also the running back who got brought down in the end zone, Tyler Parrott. Going to kick this one underneath, and it's going to go straight to Corey Murphy. Able to field that one well, and again, the Knights going to be set up with fantastic field position. This time, going to be set up on the 28 of Grace Baptist. Knights with a chance to maybe go and try and put 2 scores on the board very quickly. The last drive ended short. Peyton Leach pass intercepted. Obviously, whenever you're as beat up as both these teams are, playing a couple of physical games 2 days ago, the quicker for the Knights they can put up some points on the board and maybe relax a little bit, maybe the better. Because once the adrenaline kind of wears off in this game, you're going to start feeling the effects of not only this game, but the one 2 nights ago. Snap comes, Corey Murphy tries to roll outside, big stiff arm, has the first down and more. Eventually going to be dragged down out of bounds. Mason Long on the tackle, but Corey Murphy, a wrecking machine like we know, has the first down, and the Knights now working up near the red zone.
Taking a look at that.
Yeah, looked like that one could have been blown up quickly. That was Caleb Adams tried to come over, but Corey Murphy too strong and eventually dragged down out of bounds. The Knights now working from the 14. Going to try and punch this one in. Matty Spackman and Brendan Tormey, the 2 receivers. To the right, Murphy going to step outside. Now going to get the sling pass. Has a little bit of room, but that is quickly closed, and he's going to be brought down for no gain.
Yeah, nice job by the Eagles to pick up on that one.
Yeah, they might have called it for a loss of 1 on that one. Knights do a good job of using a lot of that pre-snap motion for a little bit of eye candy and maybe a little bit of misdirection for other teams. That time they did fire it to Murphy, but Grace Baptist did a good job closing that one down. Snap comes, going to fire this one. Spackman, the receiver, has Brendan Tormey ahead of him blocking. Able to make a cut inside, makes 2 men miss, and Matty Spackman is in for another Knights touchdown. Great job by Matty Spackman finding the space underneath. A quick screen pass from Peyton Leach. And when you got the big tight end and Brendan Tormey up there blocking for you, he's going to create a lot of space. And the Knights rolling now 15-0.
Yep, as they march it back down, we'll watch that on the replay here.
Yeah, quick fire pass. Whenever you have Brendan Tormey out there, you can always use him as a target and throw him a 50-50 ball. But this time, using him as a blocker does a great job to push the Grace Baptist player outside and give Matty Spackman enough space to find pay dirt. And Matty Spackman really always been a good player for the Knights, but this time now getting a lot of plays going his way because of the absence of Bradley Baumgartner. Knights trying to find a couple more targets. Him and Jakyle Sims both have been fantastic for the Knights this season. And Matty Spackman this time goes out and finds 6 more for the Knights. Matty Spackman also, of course, was the player of the game in that that state championship game against the Evangel Lightning. Mac Bills set to kick this one away and could have been blocked, but it looks like the blocker ran past it. Watch that extra point again, maybe, if we can, but it looks like the blocker may have ran right past the ball. Mac Mills always maybe a little bit nervous now. He got hit very hard against Evangel and hurt his knee, I believe, in that game. So probably grateful, no contact on that play.
Yeah, we got the replay. We'll watch the replay here.
We'll see it again. Off of that right edge, it looked like he could have easily had it, but yeah, just ran right past it. Again, though, I'm sure Mac Mills is grateful of no contact there. Once you go to kick that ball away and that plant foot is in the ground, it's very hard to take your weight off of it and escape with no injury. While we have a moment, we can take a quick look at one of our sponsors. We have Nancy's Italian Ice, a fun new place to cool down and sweeten up in East Montgomery, serving up to 16 flavors of Italian ice daily, as well as delicious gelato and sweet bakery treats at 7976 Vaughn Road, next to Winn-Dixie at Taylor and Vaughn.
You might even catch a Ezekiel player in there. A very tall one.
A very tall one, absolutely. And the Knights kick this one away. That one going to land right near the 35, well fielded. And a chance to maybe get a return here for Grace Baptist. Has some blockers in front of him, able to make a few men miss. And Corey Murphy still can't bring him down. And he is eventually going to be manhandled and dragged down. That was Mason Long bouncing away from a lot of
He just shifted his way through everything.
It looked like he wasn't even running that hard. He was just able to make a lot of men miss.
It wasn't a lot of speed. He just navigated his way through.
Knights with a couple arm tackles in there and some hands on some knees now. Knights maybe a little bit tired.
Look at that on the replay real quick.
Mason Long, what seemed to be the key receiver for Grace Baptist in this game, did a good job navigating his way through traffic. It's always scary whenever you cut across the field on a kickoff. You expect to get smacked from the backside, but good blocking upfield, and Grace Baptist now with their best starting field position of this game. Going to start on the Knights' 40-yard line. Thompson in the pistol. Man in motion, snap comes, going to be fake handoff, going to be quarterback keeper, and that's actually Long in at quarterback now. Going to find a way through a couple of Knights players, and eventually brought down. Might be enough for the first down. Mason Long making things happen with his feet. The big kickoff return, and then now the first down.
Is there a replay of that?
Yep, he's definitely a little bit bigger than Thompson out there, and just able to use his feet, able to get away from Peyton Patchell and pick up a first down. Long again, the man in the pistol. Trying to get the signal from the coach. 5 seconds left to snap this ball. They do get it off, drops back to throw, fires one to the near side, and it's caught. And that's Adams for a touchdown for Grace Baptist. It looked like the Knights overran that coverage a little bit. Never got their head around, and Adams was able to go up there and get that ball. And now finds 6 for Grace Baptist, has them on the board.
Yeah, looking at that on the replay.
Looked like the Knights just overplayed the coverage a little bit. That ball underthrown, but Adams able to step back, got past his man, and makes the catch. Good heads-up play by the receiver.
They go for 2 here.
Yep, snap. Going to be quarterback keeper, well disguised, but brought down. That's not, and they do call it good, only just. He definitely paid a little bit for those 2 points. But now we have an 8-point game. Grace Baptist right back into this one.
Good crowd here for Grace Baptist. Coming out of Chattanooga, I believe.
Yep, had an undefeated regular season, and as well, just like the Knights, they had a state championship victory. For them, though, at what cost? They had an injury to their starting senior quarterback, Cooper Nicked. And now they're changed it up a little bit. This time Mason Long was stepping in at quarterback for them, and it seemed to work out fairly well. We'll see what they do for the rest of this game. I imagine we'll see a couple of change-ups, but now we'll see how the Knights respond. Corey Murphy been the recipient of a couple of kickoffs so far in this game. We'll see if they go his way again. The sure-handed senior running back. Also, Jakyle Sims, the man deep for the Knights. Matty Spackman. And it looks like Miles Richardson as well, part of the hands team. Usually we'll see Brendan Tormey on that far side. We're probably going to get limited play time today as it's Isaiah Zorn taking his place. And this one is going to be a little bit farther along. Corey Murphy just going to have to cover it up. Tried to pick it up and run with it, but smartly covered it at the end as he saw a couple of Grace Baptist players running right at him to try and take away that ball. That would have been a big momentum swing if they were able to pick up that onside kick. But the Knights going to get it back and going to try and go to work again on offense. 3 drives, 1 interception, 2 touchdowns going the Knights' way, and has them leading this game by 8. Going to start this one off at the 42. All the way on that right side hash mark. Matty Spackman, the lone receiver, pistol formation. Murphy in behind Leach. Snap comes, going to be a handoff. Murphy going to try and bounce it out to the left side. Gets away from one. Good blocking downfield by Isaiah Zorn. And he's eventually going to be brought down out of bounds, but flags fly in. Likely going to be a holding call against Isaiah Zorn. This one likely going to come back. It'll probably be from the spot of the foul, so it'll probably be just another first down and 10 upcoming for the Knights. And it was a hold against the Knights. I believe Isaiah Zorn was the guilty party. And it's going to be a first down and 11 or 12 as they spot it from the spot of the foul. Actually, they're going to back it up a little bit farther. A little bit confused, the chain gang. Trying to find the exact spot. Maybe a first down and 11 now upcoming for the Knights. You got your key receiver, Matty Spackman, down here underneath, lined up one-on-one with a big cushion. We'll see if they go to him quickly. They're going to go to Corey Murphy, who tripped. I don't know if he got tangled up with Peyton Leach or not, but not able to keep his footing and goes down for a loss of about 5 on that one.
Yeah, we'll look at that on the replay.
The turf down here is not exactly what we're used to in Alabama. A lot of sand out there.
Yeah, it looks like he tripped.
Maybe just caught a little piece of Peyton Leach there, but Knights now set up with a second down and 16. Spackman and Brendan Tomey lined up to the near side. Murphy and Leach in the backfield. Snap comes, Leach drops back, looks to throw, has to escape some pressure, has some room to run on the far side, gets away from a man and has a first down. A great effort, but a flag down. Might be another holding call against the Knights. Pressure got to Peyton Leach there very quickly, able to make something happen with his feet, but this one likely going to come back for holding. And it is going to be a holding call against the Knights. 2 long rushing plays go their way, but now they're taken off. Second down and 25 upcoming for the Knights.
Really, Ezekiel's pretty disciplined with the with penalties. Haven't had a huge problem this year with it.
Not really, especially not a lot of detrimental penalties. This one, 2 first down runs now chalked off due to holding calls. We'll see what the Knights draw up here. They're going to run the Wildcat. Corey Murphy, the low man in the backfield. Miles Richardson on the far side. Peyton Patchell on the right. Likely going to set one behind him, and it's going to be Murphy. Going to try and take this one. Finds a little bit of a hole. Bounces off a man. Has a great block from Miles Richardson. Has the first down. And that is a freight train and a half. Miles Richardson, Peyton Patchell, and Corey Murphy all crashing down on the right side of that line. Corey Murphy did a great job to bounce away from a would-be tackler and picks up more than enough for a Knights first down. One thing we see tonight that the Knights just were not able to get rolling yesterday or 2 days ago was the run game. This time, just able to be a little more physical than Grace Baptist at the line. I think where Grace Baptist win this game against Freedom, though, is they've got just a much better defensive back core. They've already got 1 interception today. Again, the Wildcat lined up. Miles Richardson comes across in motion. Snap comes. Murphy going to go the other way now. A great job by Peyton Patchell to step up and make a couple blocks. That's going to be, should be a horse collar tackle. No flags, though, for it. A little bit surprising there. We'll watch it again on the replay, see if we can't maybe see what piece of the jersey the referee thinks he got. We see a little bit of a different design, though. We'll see. Watch Peyton Patchell on the near side. He cuts back around, though. That was the last play. Give it 1 second. We'll see if we can't pull that up. This time the Knights set up in the shotgun. Brendan Tormey in the slot. Matty Spackman out to his right. Snap comes. Going to fire to Spackman too high. Leach had a little bit of a hesitation there. Maybe didn't quite see what he liked and overthrew him. I can't tell if he intentionally overthrew him or not there. Maybe a little bit of a miscommunication between the two. Third down and 10 upcoming for the Knights. Knights again. Brendan Tormey, the man in motion. Snap come. Miles Richardson on the carry. Gets brought down after a gain of about 2. Going to be a 4th down and 9 now upcoming for the Knights. I imagine this is probably go for it territory for Ezekiel. We'll see what they decide to do, but they do have a good punter in Peyton Leach, and it looks like he is going to go back to punt this one away. Leach been a great punter this year for the Knights. This one maybe not quite as much about distance, maybe a little more about accuracy, as they have nobody back for Grace Baptist to field this one. Snap comes, and Leach is going to keep it. It's going to be a fake. He has a lot of room to go, but he's got some space to run. Peyton Leach gets the field, has the first down, and more. Peyton Leach trying to find the end zone 5, and he is going to be brought down just outside of the goal line. A bold call by the Knights pays off and has the Knights working from 1st and goal. Peyton Leach, it's always dangerous when you have a dual threat guy like that. He can boot the ball long, but the Grace Baptist was playing safe, but even then they were just still not able to bring down the big number 5. We'll watch that one again on the replay. It looked like they had him right near the 1st down marker, but they were able to get him out of bounds right at the 1. And the Knights knocking on the door yet again. 1st down and goal for Ezekiel. This time they're going the double wing-back formation. Miles Richardson, the man in motion. Snap comes, and it's going to be a handoff underneath. Jakyle Sims couldn't find a lot of space there. Well done by Grace Baptist reading that one quickly. A loss of about 4 on that one. We'll see what the Knights drop now on this 2nd down and goal. Brendan Tormey was checking off. Knights only a few seconds left to get this ball lined up and snapped. Probably going to have to use a timeout here as they have about 5 seconds to go. And they're not going to get this one off in time, and timeout called by Ezekiel. Just seemed like they couldn't quite get the play called out quickly enough, and going to burn a timeout rather than take another 5-yard penalty. Knights with a bold call on that 4th down and 9. It pays off well, and the Knights knocking on the door. 2nd down and goal to go from the 5. We'll come back to that in just a moment. We can take a quick look at one of our sponsors. We've got Stone Martin Builders, building neighborhoods that will last for generations, providing a team of professionals whose goal is to exceed the home buyer's expectation, guiding you from start to finish. New communities being built now through Central Alabama and the Montgomery area. Stone Martin Builders. Also, we've got Black Hat Forge for all your forging needs. Black Hat Forge has custom forged kitchen knives, camp knives, and more. They make great personalized, unique gifts from handcrafted from steel and into the fire. Knights trying to punch this one home. This has been a little bit of their bread and butter this season. They've got 2 big power runners in Corey Murphy and Miles Richardson. Peyton Leach also no slack himself. Going to be a handoff. Murphy trying to find the corner, and there's a fumble on the play. And it's going to be picked up by Grace Baptist. There is a flag down. We'll see what the call is. It's likely going to be a face mask. I think Corey Murphy got his cage grabbed a little bit. And that ball should be staying in the hands of the Knights if it is a face mask. We'll see if we can't get it on the replay. I think first thing we're going to get the officials call. And that's going to be a face mask called against Ezekiel. I think Corey Murphy maybe had a piece of the cage when he went for a stiff arm. We'll watch it again on the replay. I don't see much in that. Could have been shout for a horse collar tackle. It didn't look like there was much of anything in either of those.
See there at the end going out. He may have got
a hand in there, yeah, but Knights not able to score after a great 4th down call on the 4th down and 9, and now a chance for Grace Baptist to maybe try and tie this one back up. .53 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Thompson back in at quarterback. Pistol formation. Snap. Thompson looks to throw, goes deep, and he's got a man! And it's going to be a touchdown for Grace Baptist, going to go all the way. And Avery Iverson has them within 2 to tie this one up. Thompson went long. The Knights looked like whoever they had covering slipped up a little bit, and that was a great pitch and catch. One play, looked like 85 yards for the Golden Eagles. And now a chance to tie this game up.
Take a look at that on the replay.
A good throw from Thompson, well placed. And it looked like the senior Elijah Ward got tangled up in the feet of Iverson and just couldn't stay up. 2-point conversion upcoming. That snap a little bit off to the side and gonna able to cut away from 1, 2, has a chance, and he is in. It looked like there could have been a holding call in there on Peyton Patchell, but nothing given, and 2 points going to go the way of Grace Baptist as we have a tie game. We'll see if we can see that 2-point maybe again on the replay.
We'll go back and look at that, the touchdown again. We didn't get a chance to watch all of it, but big play here for the Eagles right after the fumble.
Yeah, right after the fumble, defense made a good job getting a stop, and then the offense helps them out with a touchdown, and we have a tie football game as we have about 37 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Elijah Ward just tangled up a little bit in the feet of Iverson, and he was able to take that one to the house uncontested. Elijah Ward been a great player this year for the Knights.
Yeah, he's kind of an unsung hero. I mean, interceptions, he's had some big, he's not a huge guy, but he's had some big hits, made some good plays. The knockaway in the championship game.
Yeah, absolutely, and he had the interception late for the Knights.
He just sneaks up on you, and you don't know he's there.
And usually very reliable player. That time just a little bit unfortunate. And we have a tie football game. 37 seconds to go here. This kick squibbed down. Going to be Corey Murphy going to pick it up. Has a little bit of space to run. Bounces away from 1, trying to find the corner. Well covered, though, by Grace Baptist. Still Corey Murphy powering forward. Gets down now near midfield. And the Knights going to take over now right at the 49-yard line. A couple of missed opportunities. Twice now they've had the ball, once in the 30, and then that time right on the goal line. But the Golden Eagles able to get 2 takeaways, a fumble and an interception. And the referee has a little bit of an arm there too. That was a good throw by the official. Maybe we need to get him out there playing quarterback sometime. Snap comes, Leach handoff to Murphy. He's met right at the line, able to get away from 1, but the cavalry quickly comes in. He's probably going to get forward progress of a loss of 2. And that might just do it for the first quarter of this game. 4 seconds to go, and the Knights going to flip the field. Not a long way to go, but Grace Baptist battles back from what looked like it could have been a runaway game for the Knights, and they are right back into it. This one tied at 16. Looks like we could have another close game on our hands. But before we come back, we're going to take a quick look at one of our sponsors. We've got Tallahassee Superfoods, located in Tallahassee, Alabama. Locally owned and serving the area for over 50 years. Low prices and hometown service with 2 locations. Visit Tallahassee Superfoods on Facebook or find them at Tallahassee Superfoods. Also, we've got Gray's Tire. Grace Tower offering service for over 20 years, family run and with friendly full service with 6 locations from Prattville, Montgomery, Auburn, Wetumpka, and now Tallahassee. There's a Grace Tire near you.
There is a Grace Tire near us.
Yeah, absolutely.
We passed 2 of them.
We use them quite often too.
Yeah, we do. Great people down there.
Knights trying to get back underway here. Had a little bit of a lull. Offense just not able to punch it into the end zone on the last drive. Snap comes, going to be a quick fire out to Spackman. Brendan Tolman makes a good block for him, and he gets cut down right near the first down marker. That should be enough for an Ezekiel first down. Well, they caught him way short of the marker to gain. That is a very questionable spot. Interesting spot by the official there. Going to be a 3rd down and about 3 for the Knights. Looked like he had more than enough for that first down, but we'll see what the Knights draw up here. Leach in the shotgun, has Tormey and Spackman out to his right. Corey Murphy standing right beside him in the backfield, now going to slide over. Snap comes, going to fire this one again. Spackman, quick hands, and has the first down this time. Good quick fire play from Corey Murphy, or from Peyton Leach to Manny Spackman there.
Yeah, looking at that on the replay, I know Leach is working, getting the ball out of his hands quickly.
And that time, when you work with a guy like Spackman, he's found him so many times in the past couple games, your timing just gets better and better as you go on. And for the Knights, that timing working really well so far in this one. Knights set up in the shotgun, same formation. Brendan Tormey this time comes in motion. Handoff underneath. Corey Murphy trying to bounce it to the outside, gets away from one, has a second one now to deal with, and gets dragged down for a no gain. Not an easy man to stop when he's running downhill. The only way you're really going to stop him is if you catch him going sideways. And that time, Grace Baptist stacked 2 on him after a loss of 2. Knights 2nd down and 12 upcoming. We'll see what they draw up here on this 2nd down. This time it's Kyle Sims out there to the right of Peyton Leach along with Brendan Tormey. Snap comes, gonna fire this one to Tormey underneath, trying to get away from one, can't quite do so. He's gonna be dragged down for no gain on that one. It's gonna be a 3rd down and 12 for Ezekiel. That time trying to find Brendan Tormey on the screen.
Yeah, good coverage there as we watch this by the Eagles.
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit before. The Eagles have a good defensive back core, so deep balls aren't going to work as well against them. Knights trying to find some of this soft coverage to maybe fire one over the top eventually.
And Brennan, who's good for 3 yards if he just falls down.
And that one deep and intercepted, incomplete. Should have been another interception for the Eagles. That one thrown right into the hands of Brock Passons. Like we talked about, again, this Eagles defensive back, they've got a great set of defensive backs and safeties. And that time they nearly come away with another interception. Payne Leach back to kick this one away. Not likely to be a fake again, but we will see. And that is not his best effort. Barely makes it past the first down marker. Didn't really get all of that one. And we're going to be spotted right at the 30-yard marker.
Once again, you guys watching on YouTube, go ahead and join in and chat or leave some comments. Give a thumbs up if you're liking the stream. Let us know where you're watching from. Sometimes we've had people from all over the world watching. Had people from England. We've had people on airplanes to watch them before.
Thompson drops back, looking to throw. Pressure coming quickly. Screen underneath. Well caught. Able to get away from a few. Isaiah Zorn in pursuit. It could be a foot race down the sideline and eventually out of bounds. We'll see where they end up marking this one. A well-designed screen pass. And that one right at the 46-yard line. He ran it quite a lot farther than that, but the officials blew that one dead. Actually, they mark him down right near midfield, actually. Going to be at the 49 of Grace Baptist. Thompson again in at quarterback. Started out a little bit shaky, but has had a good couple of possessions recently. Snapped this time, overthrown and nearly intercepted. Jakyle Sims had hands on it, and you know if he takes that one, it's going all the way back to the house. Both these teams battling it out for momentum at the moment. We'll see which of the two can.
Looking back on the replay at how close he had that.
Yeah, just a little bit overthrown of his receiver. Thompson nearly intercepted. Sims, a sure-handed receiver and cornerback for the Knights. A very young player as well, and as quick as lightning. Snap comes again, looking to throw, fires deep, and that one incomplete. Elijah Ward in a good place that time. That one intended for long. I feel like whenever you get defensive backs, they're kind of the less you hear about them, the better they are, because chances are, like when you're playing against the good one, quarterbacks aren't really going to target the receivers that are being covered by players like that. This one, though, Mason Long and Elijah Ward going to have a good battle for the rest of this day. Snap comes, pressure comes quickly, screen pass underneath, and he's going to be dragged down short of the first down, but a chance to go for it here. Going to be a 4th down and about 4. Again, that screen pass working effectively for Grace Baptist. We'll see where they spot that one. Thompson comes off a little bit limpy.
Good.
4th down and 4 to go. We'll see what they draw up here. It's going to be Long, I believe, stepping in at quarterback with Thompson limping off a little bit. Man in motion, and they draw the Knights offside. And good job using the hard count by the Eagles to draw the Knights offside, and they get a free 5 yards and a free first down. And the clock continues to run now. 7:39 to go here in this second half, or in this second quarter rather. Long still in at quarterback. Man in motion, snap comes a little bit high, brought down, and now going to try and cut this one outside. Is met quickly, flag flies in, likely going to be maybe a holding call. We'll see what the official says. Waiting for the official's signal here. And they're already backing them up, holding against Grace Baptist. That's one of the few penalties they've had so far in this game. We'll watch that one again. Long had a little bit of space to run. I believe it's going to be number 50 right here. Yeah, just grabs a handful. Yeah, you see it right there of Isaiah Zorn, I believe it was. Slowed him down. And now it's going to be a first down and about 18 to go. This is Thompson back in at quarterback, fires this one to the near side, and he gets away from one, and Jakyle Sims eventually brings him down. Got back to maybe the original line of scrimmage. Now it's Caleb Adams on the reception. Got enough, going to be a 2nd down and 8 now. Got about 10 on that one. Thompson again back in for quarterback, just looking a little bit limpy, not likely to run away from any kind of pressure now coming from the Knights. They move that marker up a little bit more, going to be a 2nd down and about 6. Now Thompson in the backfield. He's got Long one-on-one on the near side. And A little bit of confusion there from Thompson. Looked like he tried to get Long in motion, couldn't do so, and Eagles going to have to call a timeout. And while they do that, we can take a quick look at another one of our great sponsors. We've got Giuseppe's Italian Restaurant, located at 231 on Blue Ridge between Montgomery and Wetumpka. They offer a full Italian menu, including pizzas plus live entertainment, karaoke, dine-in, and takeout.
And I know if Daryl's listening in, he still owes us the karaoke down there.
Absolutely. We've also got Robert Morris Attorney, located in Deatsville, Alabama. If you're in need of legal services, they serve the River region. Just call 344-569-1820. Yeah, we talked about that all year, and we haven't been able to drag them down there to do some karaoke.
He asked me one time. I think we were out on the Thursday that we couldn't make it, but actually the guys from Giuseppe's, they checked in with us the other day or asked how we were doing. Had to report the the fatal news.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But I'm sure they'll be cheering us on today. They're located right there on 231 as you go over into Wetumpka, and all these sponsors are. You know, what they're sponsoring is they're helping out the team here, so go support them as they support our team.
2nd down and 6. Grace Baptist trying to take a lead. It'll be their first of the night. Snap comes. Thompson looks to throw, goes Long's way, and just over the head. That one well covered. Elijah Ward in coverage, and pressure just forced Thompson maybe to get rid of that ball a little bit higher than he would have wanted to. 3rd down and 6. Probably go for it territory for the Eagles. .6:13 to go here in the second quarter. Again, probably going to look Long's way here. Match up with soft coverage against Elijah Ward. Snap comes. And he is going to go Long's way, firing, and that one is incomplete. Elijah Ward in great position to cover that one again. Have to complete the process of the catch. Even if the ball was in his hands when he went down, you have to be able to hold on to that ball through contact with the ground, and unable to do so is Long. Great positioning by Elijah Ward again. Going to be targeting against him all day. Gets a hand in there. Fantastic coverage, and we can see that ball hit the ground.
There.
4th down and a big one upcoming for Grace Baptist. This time Long off the field. Thompson in the pistol. Snap comes. Drops back, looks to throw. Screen again. And this time well diagnosed. Isaiah Zorn quickly in there. And the Knights now falling for it again. Get a great turnover on downs.
We'll have to give some kudos to our camera guys. Those guys have been able to get some good shots, and just like that one, that is a tough shot to film on the camera and try to follow a play and focus in on it.
And I feel like they've only gotten better as the years have gone on.
So if you guys give a shout out to the camera guys, because they are. You're only on about 1/3 of the time, and you're trying to catch the whole game,
and you got to watch it through a little tiny screen.
Watch it through a tiny screen in the sun.
Knights with possession yet again, going to start at their own 35-yard line. Miles Richardson back there with Peyton Leach. Gets the handoff, tries to bounce it outside, has a little bit of space to run, runs through one man, still on his feet. Miles Richardson has the first down and gets slung down out of bounds. Good, strong running by the senior number 1, Miles Richardson.
Watching that on the replay.
Only his first year with the team, but he already feels like a bit of an emotional leader for this Knights squad. Definitely a very vocal player. And he certainly loves playing with these guys out there on the field, but been a great addition to this team. Shotgun formation again for the Knights. Leach in the backfield, Richardson to his right. You got Spackman and Tormey stacked on the far side. This time, Tormey comes in motion, going to pitch this one outside. Richardson has a little bit of room to run, gets met fairly quickly, able to bounce away from 1, 2, and he's got a first down and more. Miles Richardson trying to race this one to the end zone, eventually going to be corralled out of bounds, but not before getting well inside the red zone, going to be up near the 13-yard line. The Knights had just a convoy, and when you got a big, strong runner like Richardson who just never gives up on the plate, he can do things like that, and now the Knights working from inside the red zone yet again.
Yeah, you can see here, you think he stopped here, but
he got met right at the line of scrimmage. It's always tough, though, for those guys out there, especially from Grace Baptist. Whenever you come up against a guy like Corey Murphy and Miles Richardson, after playing a game 2 days ago, it's very tough to will yourself up to try and go hit a big guy like that.
You've already been beaten up 2 days ago, and then you have to come up against a huge guy like Miles.
And the Knights working from inside the red zone. Going to try and capitalize on this one. Going to be a handoff. Sims out of the backfield gets dragged down quickly. A shout for a horse collar tackle, but nothing given. No gain on that one. That's the first time we've seen Jakyle Sims take a handoff from Peyton Leach in the backfield.
Well,
maybe had a shout there, but there was a lot of Grace Baptist players in there making up that tackle, so seems like a good no call from the official.
Good call there.
This time, Corey Murphy in the backfield again for the Knights, trying to rewrite history for this Knights team. Snap comes, it's going to be a handoff. Murphy trying to bounce it outside, has some space, and that should be a horse collar tackle, but again, nothing called. We'll see where he got a hold of him there. Looked like he might have got a hold of the shoulder pads, but we'll watch it again real quick. Good tackle. Great job getting a hold of the shoulder pads and turning Corey Murphy away. That's going to be the best way to make a tackle on him. Either you got to go low or you got to throw him off balance. 3rd down and 5 now upcoming for the Knights. About 14 seconds to try and get this snap off. Knights luckily have 2 chances at this one. Snap comes. Leach looks to throw, fires to the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! Matty Spackman goes up over the top of Brock Passions, and finds the end zone. Great throw by Peyton Leach to the corner of the end zone, and just telling Spackman to go up and get it, and I believe the term is mossed nowadays. He absolutely did moss Brock Passions there. And the Knights reclaim a 6-point lead.
Hey, he can't put my DB.
Usually you'll see that play thrown to the big number 12 tight end, Brendan Tormey, but that time going Spackman's way. And the Knights reclaim their lead. And Mac Mills trying to make it a 7-point lead. That kick is up, and it is good. And again, a hit on Mac Mills at the end of the play. And a little bit of afters from Grace Baptist trying to get back there at Mac Mills. We'll watch that again. That was number 11, Cole Mason, going at Mac Mills. And when you're a kicker, you say, you don't really have much to do with the play for the most part. He definitely got hit after that kick was away. Cole Mason's a senior.
Yeah, he just got.
If we can get it again. Yeah, he got
kind of run over there.
But then we'll see after this, he goes back at him, and Mac Mills saying, well, what did I do?
Kicked an extra point.
Yeah, kicked an extra point, but good teammate and Luke Jordan stepping back there and making sure Mills doesn't get caught up in anything. A little bit of an odd proceeding there. As a kicker, you probably just don't really expect to have any hard feelings towards you.
Kickers do their job, go off the field.
And the referee is talking a little bit now with the coaching staff of the Grace Baptist Eagles, maybe talking something over, maybe just saying we don't really want to have a heated game here. It is a consolation game after all, but of course, players that are seniors like Mason out there. Knights get set to kick this one away. Mills again looking to kick to his favorite new person, Cole Mason, on the opposite end. And going to scrib this one low, takes a high bounce, and eventually fielded and just slide down. And that's Tyler Parrott who fielded that one a high bounce there. Gave the Knights maybe a half chance to recover it, but good hands from Parrott, and the Eagles going to take over right near the 35-yard line. 3:48 to go here in this first half of football. Been an exciting one so far.
Yeah. Cheerleaders in the crowd for Grace. Band is back there somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can hear them chiming in.
And Thompson again going to step back at quarterback. Has his favorite target long down here to the near side, matched up one-on-one with Elijah Ward. That's been a fun battle to watch so far. And gonna have to take a timeout again. I think that Grace Baptist were trying to use the hard count and draw Ezekiel off sides, but Ezekiel this time discipline didn't fall for it. Both of these teams looking to finish their season on a win. Both of these teams won state championships. And it's even though it's not a national championship game, it's state champion versus state champion. So no doubt a lot of skill out there on the field, albeit a little bit beat up and worn out skill. But both of these teams very much game. Again, Grace Baptist finished their season undefeated. The Knights finished at 8-2 with a win against Evangel in the state championship game.
And as we chimed in on this broadcast, an exciting game right before I think we got the last play. We just decided that game played over a little bit, so we decided to come in as that one came down to the last second.
Yeah, about like our game did against Freedom a couple of nights ago. That one, it's much funner to watch it as a neutral, I'll say.
Yeah, we said that game would have been a lot more enjoyable to cover if you didn't
have a dog in the fight.
That's right.
Both of these teams a little bit beat up for the season, though. Obviously, Bradley Bumgarner missing this one, a senior, and a counterpart, Cooper Nicht, the senior quarterback, couldn't make it for Grace Baptist. So some beat-up teams. Long going to roll out to the near side, has some space, and going to decide to tuck it and run. Peyton Patchell can't bring him down. Elijah Ward forces him out of bounds, but Long has the first down, going to be marked right near the 50. Grace Baptist doing a good job rotating quarterbacks. Mason Long and Wesley Thompson trading out. Long has this one now at the 49 of Ezekiel.
It just turned out to be a great day for football.
That's about as good as it gets.
Yeah, most of our games, other than one, I think we've had really good weather.
Yeah, we did have to call one from the car, unfortunately, but for the most part, it's been pretty darn good. Tyler Parrott this time sliding out as a receiver. Long going to take the snap, going to try and roll out to the far side. Pressure coming quickly, and he's able to get this throw away, but it is going to be incomplete. Good pressure that time by the Knights. That was Sam Blunt able to step out there and force the incompletion.
Yeah, and you've got the pursuit, but there's good coverage downfield when you can't get rid of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Even when he got rid of it, it looked like only a Knight may be able to bring that one down. This time Long in the check out. Likely going to be Thompson stepping in at quarterback. Done a good job. Started off a little bit slow with this Grace Baptist offense, but they've been able to pick it up. Pistol formation. Snap comes. Pressure coming around the backside. Fired over the head of everybody. Iverson was the intended target. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 10. Elijah Ward again creeping in on the number 1. 3rd down and 10 now coming in, rather big one. And once again, favorite target Long not out there on the field. I wonder if they're just trying to reserve him a little bit. He does also play on the defensive side of the ball, so that may be one of those things where you see with this kind of limited roster for Grace Baptist, it may come back and hurt them a little bit. 3rd down and 10. Snap comes. Quarterback drops back, looks to throw, goes deep, and it's incomplete. Too far outside. And again, picking on Elijah Ward, this senior number 20, but only giving up the 1 touchdown pass. Other than that, he has been playing lights out. 4th down and 10 now.
Take a look at it coming at our cameraman here.
Yeah, that one it was in the right spot. Whenever you hang a ball up there and the cornerback is in a decent spot. You don't really want to hang that to the middle of the field. If anyone, you're going to want to throw it outside, and the only person going to come down with it is you're going to be your guy, or it's going to fall incomplete. This time Long back there again. Snap comes, going to be a keeper, has some space. Looks like he's going to have the first down and has more. Sam Blunt trying to drag him down, still on his feet, and eventually brought down. Sam Blunt was not going to let go of that one, but Mason Long has another first down.
Yeah, take a look at that one coming right at us.
Yep, good job there. Mason Long finding a hole, just getting away from Peyton Patchell. But Sam Blunt able to get hands on, and he couldn't quite get away from him. But Grace Baptist working on the 21-yard line, knocking on the door of the red zone. 3:02 to go in this second quarter. Long again in there at quarterback. Seems to be a real running threat. Less of a passer, definitely more of a runner. We've seen him scramble around a few times and make some things happen with his feet. Taking a minute. I think Grace Baptist just want to eat some of this clock.
Watching that play clock go down to about 12 here.
Snap comes, Long going to keep it, and this time Peyton Patchell and company get home. He goes nowhere. Good effort by Peyton Patchell to be the first man there. Obviously one of the biggest workhorses on the defense. Got used a lot. Got pretty much in on 90% of the snaps against Freedom and came out of that one very beat up. But again, out there today, dressing out for the last time for this Ezekiel Knights team. So you know he's going to want to go out there. Another great leader on this team. Going to try and go out and finish his career at Ezekiel with a win. Long again in the pistol. Snap, going to be a handoff up the middle. And once again, the big number 22 in there on the tackle after a short gain. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 11. As time ticks away here, a minute and a half to go. Grace Baptist going to try and use all of this clock. They will get the ball after halftime. Long again in the backfield. Knights, I think, have 1 or 2 timeouts remaining, but not a lot. I know they burned one to try and not get called for a delay of game. Snap, Long going to keep it. Zorn in his face. Patchell trying to come from behind, and again, another short gain. The seniors, Isaiah Zorn and Peyton Patchell, connecting there to make a tackle, as Darrell calls them the Sons of Thunder. Picks up about 4 on that one. Going to bring a 4th down and 7. This clock continues to tick. 25-second on the play clock, so they'll get down to close to 20 seconds to go here once they get this play off, if they decide to use all of it. Thompson back in at quarterback. His favorite target, Long, matched up one-on-one to the near side with Elijah Ward. Going to fire this one over the middle, wide open, nobody on him, and that's going to be a touchdown, Grace Baptist. That time it was Pierce Smith uncovered up the middle, but there is a flag down. And I think he was an ineligible receiver. That's why he was so uncovered.
Yeah, yep. Referee's talking it over here. So we get the call, we'll go back and take a look at it.
Yeah, we'll see him come unmarked. If anyone was going to mark him, it was going to be Sam Blunt, but Blunt seemed like he didn't really mind him running right past him. We'll see what the official call is here. And they wave off the flag.
Whoa.
A big call there. We'll watch it again.
Here's the replay.
He was lined up hand in the dirt and just goes uncovered. Hard to see where everyone was on that play, and the ruling is always different with different leagues, but we have got a 22-23 ball game. Knights lead by 1, going for 2. Grace Baptist trying to take the lead just before the break. Fire this one outside, and it's caught. 2-point conversion is good, and Grace Baptist will lead 24-23. after a waved off ineligible man downfield. Again, I don't quite have all the ruling here, but I'm sure Darryl Spears is yelling at his television wherever he is.
Yeah, we'll see if we can look at that again. Cut over and
the rule should be the 3 most central men cannot catch the football, and when you're lined up with your hand in the dirt on the offensive line, I believe that is always going to be an ineligible man.
So, at number 5 there is...
Yep, he was our touchdown man. Goes downfield unmarked. And again, I feel like the ruling is if you're one of the most central men on the field, you are an ineligible player, but he lined up hand in the dirt like an offensive lineman, and they counted as a touchdown. Knights with about 24 seconds to work if they do get this ball back.
But regardless, nice job by the Eagles working the clock and moving down the field. And
yep, only put up 24 seconds for the Knights to work with. Of course, we know the Knights only need 1 play sometimes to make something happen. If they're going to recover this, it'll be with a short field. Corey Murphy going to pick this one up. Has a lot of room to run around the outside. He's got a blocker in front of him. And he's trying to cut it upfield. Corey Murphy's got a hole. And he is going to take it all the way to the house. Touchdown. And a flag comes in, probably going to be for taunting. Poor decision from Corey Murphy. They're going to get called for taunting. Touchdown should stand, but
those are always tough calls when you have an excited player going down the field.
Especially a senior, a lot of emotion out there for these seniors. Well, we saw a waved off flag on the other one. We'll see if we see a waved off flag here on this touchdown. But I feel like, I don't think he got him for the hand up in the air. I feel like Corey Murphy looked back at the man chasing him, and that's what he called him for.
Watch it.
The touchdown should stand.
Well, he did it like 10 yards away.
Yeah.
And it will. And now it's just up to Grace Baptist whether they want to take the penalty yardage on the kickoff or if they want to do it on this extra point attempt. And it will be on the kickoff. Well, it looked like Ezekiel were going to go into the break in the hole, but instead they take the lead off a great Corey Murphy play, and I believe Corey Murphy now is only 1 touchdown away from breaking the Knights' overall career touchdown record. And they said it was on the kickoff, but I think they're going to take it on the extra point attempt.
Yeah, backing that extra point up.
We've seen Mac Mills. He kicked a field goal from about 25 or 26 against Evangel. We'll see what he can do here. This one, a 35-yard attempt. He does have a very good leg.
Just if he can get all of it. We watched him practice before.
And it's got the length, but it's just off to the left.
Just wide. Definitely had the length, but.
And the Knights will take a 5-point lead, I would say, in the halftime, but we've seen the Knights bring back one for a score.
And we'll take a look. We didn't get a chance to look at that on the replay. We'll take a look at that.
Yeah, Corey Murphy brought all the attention to the left side of this play and then looked up, saw a lot of space out to his right, had Matty Spackman running in front of him, makes a great block and is able to escape a few different would-be tacklers, and there's a taunting call.
Yep. High school, they will get you on that one.
Apparently in the NFL, it'll cost you a couple grand as well nowadays. Fortunately, it only cost the Knights 15 yards, not a little bit of money.
And now since 10 seconds left.
Yeah, still plenty of time left. Now for the Knights, it might be a good idea to use that little squib onside kick just to try and down it somewhere where the Eagles will not get a chance to field it.
You guys stick around at halftime. We're going to try to get all of our senior spotlights.
There are a lot
of
them.
Yeah, well, as soon as we get to halftime, we'll cut into it. There's a lot of those, so you want to watch those guys. We get set for this kickoff with about 10 seconds left here in the first half.
And this kick is on the ground and fielded and down quickly. About 9 seconds to go. I feel like the Knights, that's the preferable thing that happened there, because
you don't want to
things can happen.
Yeah. 8-man football coverage can be tough in 8-man football on kickoff and punts, so that's why you see a lot of the squib kicks, unless you've just got a kicker who can boom it out of the end zone, which we have seen.
We have seen, but it can be very tough for teams to make that coverage downfield just because of the limited amount of players. This time the Knights setting up with the biggest man deep at safety, Brendan Tormey. And his favorite target, Mason Long, is here on the near side, again matched up with Elijah Ward. Going to fire this one underneath. Clock will likely expire unless he's able to get out of bounds quickly, and he cannot. He rolls the ball out of bounds, but he was already down as time expires. And we will go into the halftime. Knights leading Grace Baptist 29-24.
And still on the field. Referee's talking something over
they're talking
here.
about
I'm not
something.
sure what it is. Oh, they're saying might be saying he fumbled it out of bounds.
Yeah, but it looked like he threw it. It should be an illegal forward pass. If you intentionally, it looked like the ball went forward. If we can catch it on the replay.
See if I can bring that back up.
I think it's going to be an illegal forward pass.
No, yep.
And they just called no flag. This half will end. We'll watch it again if we can. But if not, like I said, I think it was an illegal forward pass that they called. And Knights just seemed to maybe decline it, or the flag was just waved off as time expires. The coach is still talking with the officials. A little bit of smiles on both sides, though, as Long tried a little bit of gamesmanship. Had he gotten out of bounds a little bit earlier, they may have had an opportunity to have one more play.
Yeah, nice attempt, but we've see if we've got that on a. Yeah, here we come on the replay here. Toward the end of the play, and there's only. Again, our clock is not the official clock.
The whistle's blew as the clock expired, but you see him kind of throw the ball forward there. And if anything, I think he was down before that ball even left his hand. So either way, I feel like it was the right call, whether it was an illegal forward pass or not. Clock expired, and we will go into the halftime break. Eagles trailing the Knights 29-24. And like you said, I know we got a couple of senior spotlights. We'll see if we can't line them up. We've got plenty of seniors on this team. Looks like we're going to have about a 15-minute halftime. That's already a minute gone on that.
Cut over here. So, yeah, we've got about 5 or 6 seniors. We're going to do the spotlight here as we got about 13 minutes left in halftime. We'll bring up our halftime clock. And here's some Ezekiel Knight seniors.
Bradley Baumgartner, number 2, Ezekiel Knights. I played football for 3 years and playing for Ezekiel for 3 years. Played a receiver and DB. Receiver my favorite because I score a lot, so occasionally we got the ball. But yeah, probably last year versus Lyaston State Championship. I caught like a video touchdown pass from Austin. It was like a tip pass, so pretty cool. Play basketball for Ezekiel. I also bowl and golf a little bit. I saw bowling on TV and it was pretty cool, so I decided to try it out. So I started getting serious in it, but one day I got pretty good at it, so I decided to play a few tournaments. I won one, and ever since then, I've been kind of hooked on it. After school, I'm probably gonna be a real estate agent, or go to college and get a degree in something. Not sure yet. Not really. I mean, I'm pretty normal. But I have long hair, so it's kind of unusual.
What's your favorite food?
Pizza.
What's your favorite movie?
Star Wars.
What's your favorite music and song?
Metallica, Fade to Black.
Who's your favorite football team?
Alabama. The Falcons.
Who's your favorite coach?
I plead the fifth. Go Knights.
Peyton Patchell, number 22, Ezekiel Academy. I've been playing football since 9th grade, so about 4 years. My favorite position is probably linebacker. I played receiver, I've played running back, and I played tight end. I do enjoy looking back at beating Evangel this past year and this season. And winning state championship last year, that was definitely a great experience. I played basketball for Ezekiel in the past 3 years. I've won state with soccer. Soccer, I'm a goalkeeper. Basketball, I play power forward and center. Yeah, it was a great experience, man. We went in the PKs, the final minutes, and I got an opportunity to save a goal, help my team win. And I was able to do that. You know, I just enjoy hanging out with friends and family, and playing video games every now and then. Well, I'm hoping to attend South Alabama. I would like to continue my family tradition of going into the medical field. So, I mean, my dad went to medical school at South. He's a PA. My grandfather's a PA. I would like to make a little bit more money than that, so I'd like to be a doctor, maybe a pediatrician or an orthopedic surgeon.
What's your favorite food?
Probably pizza or beef stroganoff.
What's your favorite place to eat?
It's a restaurant in Wetumpka called San Marcos.
What's your favorite movie?
Probably Good Will Hunting.
What's your favorite music or genre of music?
I guess you could say country music. I listen to just about everything.
Who's your favorite football team?
Football team, University of Alabama.
Who's your favorite coach?
I can't really say I have a favorite coach. I love all my coaches equally. Go Knights!
I'm Chayton Chastain, number 80 for the Ezekiel Knights. I started playing unprofessionally as a kid at my church when I was probably around 11 or 12, and then I didn't ever actually play on the team until 2019. I joined Ezekiel, and now I didn't play in 2020, but I'm playing again in 2021 as my senior year. 2 years ago, I played on the offensive and defensive line on the JV team, and it was fun to learn. I learned a lot from it, but it was not as near as fun as this year. I'm playing as a wide receiver and sometimes a tight end. I enjoy that a lot more just because, I don't know, my body build just seems to be more built for that. I guess it's more fun to me. Just really all of the growth that I've had. I don't know if there's any one specific part, but just all in all, just being on this team with the coaches has made me a much better player and understand the sport better. And obviously all of the wins we've had are amazing. Just, I love this team, and it's been fun playing with them. So I don't play any other sports on a real team, but I play basketball and ultimate frisbee and stuff with my church. At church camp, we do tournaments and stuff. I love archery. I love a bunch of different things. So yeah, not really. Football and frisbee are probably my two favorites. I enjoy leatherworking, so that's cool, along with, like I said, archery. And I enjoy studying the Bible, really, and really kind of just discussing and debating with people about different doctrines and politics and stuff like that too. Gotta be science. I love learning about the way God's creation all fits together and works as one unit. So I might work for, my dad runs his own heating and air company. I want to work for him for a while. After that, I plan to get into music ministry and youth ministry somewhere, go to seminary at some point, and I really want to study music more than anything. So,
What's your favorite food?
tomatoes.
What's your favorite movie?
I have maybe one of the Avengers movies. Got it.
What's your favorite song, artist, or type of music?
I love Christian rock. I love Skillet, and For King and Country too. It's really cool.
Who's your favorite football team?
Favorite football team? Oh, I don't know. I love Auburn. Auburn, really, probably, yeah.
Who's your favorite coach?
Jesus. The head coach of my life, man. Jesus. Go Knights.
Cesar Kuhn, number 50, playing center and D tackle, and we're playing for Ezekiel Academy. I started in 7th grade, and I've been playing for Ezekiel for 6 years. My favorite position is probably defensive tackle or defensive end. I play center and guard most of the time, though. Definitely the national championship was probably my favorite memory. Even though I didn't get to play a bunch in that game, it was definitely a great experience. I do a lot of hunting and fishing, not really into many other sports or music. I'm an outdoors guy.
What's your favorite subject in school?
Definitely history. I love history. I love old war stuff.
What's your least favorite subject in school?
Definitely English, 100%. Okay. After I graduate, I will be doing welding and hopefully getting into some good welding programs.
What's your favorite food?
Definitely pizza.
What's your favorite movie?
Sandlot.
What's your favorite song or artist?
Probably Luke Combs and Better Together.
Who's your favorite coach?
Definitely Coach Hunter. He's been with me the longest. Go Knights.
Christian Hester, 74, Ezekiel Academy. I started playing football last year at the beginning of the school year. I'm the right guard for our offensive line, and then I sub in for defense if I need it, and then also play on our special teams. The special teams are really great. Coach Brian's a great coach, and he helps us out with all of that. And then Coach Nate, Coach Gabe really helps us out on the line and teaches us a lot of great stuff out there. I also play basketball for Ezekiel Academy, and on there I play center. I guess my favorite play last year would have been during our first game against Lighthouse when I finally got my first pancake. And then last year we won the state, which was also a really great time with the team. And then going down the floor was really awesome. Yeah, on my free time I like to write music, and then I've also got some songs on Spotify right now. I write the songs, and then I use GarageBand to make all the music, and then I send it out on a website. When I graduate, I'm planning on going to Berry College in Rome, Georgia, and then I'm going to study to get a doctorate degree. And then I'm also planning to play for their football team. On the line last year, what we break down on was Big Nasties. So now what I do to my homeschool class is I tell them to call me Big Nasty 74.
What's your favorite food?
Pizza.
What's your favorite movie?
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
What's your favorite music or artist?
Bon Jovi.
Who's your favorite coach?
Coach Nate. Go Knights.
And those were our senior spotlights for this week and for the whole season, rather. And a lot of seniors on this team, and they've all acquitted themselves very well for this season.
Done a good job. We'll probably pick up a couple more guys during basketball season, get their senior spotlight. We tried to squeeze everybody in that we could there. But so far, this one making out to be another good game.
Yeah,
Ezekiel's had some good, tough games the past 3 weeks.
Yeah, it's been 3 games back-to-back where you play the defending national champions in the Evangel Christian Lightning. You know, you're able to go out there and beat them. Then you play the one team that really dominated you in the regular season, and the Freedom Cowboys lose a close one there, and now you're playing another undefeated state champ.
We'll see if we
Grace Baptist rather.
Go over here and take a look at some of the highlights.
Yeah, it's been an exciting one so far. A lot of points scored in that first half. Corey Murphy started off the night's first play from scrimmage. Took that one all the way to the house. About a 60-yard run. Corey Murphy starting off this game well and trying to rewrite history books. We'll have 2 more quarters of football to do so.
Ezekiel Knights touchdown.
And it looked like early on the Knights were going to start to run away with it.
Conference and Mr.
Putting up 2 touchdowns.
Ezekiel Knights
Grace Baptist really kind of struggling on both offense and defense. Couldn't really slow down the Knights.
Possession, and now they're going to walk it down to the other end to kick the extra point. But
so we get to the next one here.
I do have to give credit to Earl Baumgartner running commentary and kind of the behind-the-scenes thing at the same time.
The receiver has Brendan Tomey ahead of him blocking.
This was the second touchdown for the Knights. Maddie Spackman becoming quite familiar with both end zones of this Pete Edwards field. He found 6 himself, but
and it's caught.
Grace Baptist not going away.
Touchdown for
that
Grace
one
Baptist.
It would beat Sam Blunt. Grace Point were right back into it, and then they were able to tie up the football game.
I think Corey Murphy got his cage grabbed a little bit. And that ball should be staying in the hands of the chance. This one, snap comes. Leaves with the throw.
Still a high-flying offense. Maddie Spackman goes up and just absolutely mosses Brock Parsons on that play. And the Knights were again rolling. This one, though, the real controversial one. Let's see the touchdown pass to Pierce Smith, who should have been an ineligible receiver. It was 3 linemen up there, and he was one of them, and he took the
flag comes in,
ball into the end zone. Corey Murphy, though, quickly scored on the kickoff. Got called for a personal foul of taunting, or I guess a unsportsmanlike conduct call. And then the Knights would miss the extra point after that. So the Knights lead 29-24. 24 minutes left of football in this Ezekiel Knights season. A lot of those seniors out there playing their last 24 minutes dressed out for the red and white of Ezekiel. You know they're going to want to go out there and try and finish this season with a win.
Quite a few people making comments or chatting on YouTube.
I know Hunter Bowden's in there somewhere.
Yeah, we got Hunter Bowden, defensive coach who could not make the trip down. Hate he didn't make it down, but
he had some important business to attend to.
He did. So he'll keep the chat going, I'm sure. Love to hear his comments and anybody else's comments. Cheer for a player, team you might be watching. You may be watching the game after on the recording. You're watching live now, but we do put up a high-definition version. Try to get it uploaded by the next day so you can watch it then.
Yep, usually that'll be on a Saturday, but today it'll be on a Tuesday. Knights get set to kick this one away. Grace Baptist will receive this kickoff to open the second half. It's Mac Mills back there for the Knights to kick this one away. And he's going to squib this one underneath. Going to get fielded right around the 35 and covered up. And Grace Baptist will take over right about the 35 to the 36-yard line. Offense stalled early on, but they were really able to find their feet. Rotating quarterbacks between Thompson and Long. Thompson a little bit of a limp, it seems, going out there on the field. And Long going to take over for this opening snap. Going to take it out of the pistol. Snap comes long. Going to keep it up the middle. Gets met immediately. Peyton Patchell and Miles Richardson combined to stop him right there. No gain on that play. Going to bring up a 2nd down and 10. Grace Baptist found a couple of plays over the top in that first half. One specifically to Iverson, who found the end zone. But the run game has really been where they've been working. Long had a lot of success in that first half, running the option. This time Thompson checking back in. Has his favorite target in Long lined up on this near side. And his continuing counterpart Elijah Ward steps across the field to meet him. Snap comes, drops back, looks to throw. It's going to be a screen pass underneath. Good block on the inside there. Has a little bit of space, but the senior Elijah Ward wraps up after a gain of about 6. Tyler Parrott come out of the backfield on that reception on about a 5-yard gain. Good open field tackle by Elijah Ward, who's had his name in this game quite a lot so far. 3rd down and 5 to go. The first down marker right near the 46. Grace trying not to go 3 and out here early. Favorite target Long lineup on the line of scrimmage this time. He is an eligible receiver though. Handoff up the middle, trying to get around the edge. Beats Zorn, has the first down. And Elijah Ward there again to save a touchdown this time. Well played on the jet sweep by Grace Baptist. They have a first down. Good running there by Caleb Adams. Quick around the edge, and once you get around the outside, he always had that first down going for him and got quite a lot more. Now lined up in Knights territory on the 40-yard line. Grace trying to answer here in this second half. 10:29 to go. Clock momentarily stopped while he went out of bounds, and they reset the chains after that first down gain. Thompson in the pistol. Man in motion, snap, it's Adams again on the jet sweep. Miles Richardson trying to catch up to him, able to get away from Richardson, and Patchell and company eventually meet him, but not after he has enough for another first down. The jet sweep working well for Grace Baptist. Used it a lot in the triple option in that first half, but now Adams able to get it rolling a little bit. Did a good job finding speed around the outside, got just enough for that first down. Now going to line this one up right near the 21-yard line, knocking on the door of the red zone. Doing a good job nullifying this quick rush from the Knights. Once you get the ball out of the backfield quickly and you have Knights rushing into the backfield, you have a lot more space to run into, especially in 8-man football. Man in motion again is Adams. It's going to be a quarterback keeper by Long, and he does not get a lot. Got about 2 on that one. And they're trying to call for a late hit, but nothing really seeming there. It just seems like good football to me.
Watching that on the replay.
They give about 4 there. That might be a generous spot. Man in motion again is Adams. Second down and 6 upcoming. And he does not get a lot. Got about 2 on that one. Looked like he didn't get much past the line of scrimmage, but the referees maybe had a better look at it than we did. This ball now going to be lined up at the 16. Thompson, the man under center, lined up in the pistol now, rather. Snap comes, drops back, fires to the near side. That one incomplete. Good coverage again by the senior Elijah Ward. Going to bring up a 3rd down and 6. The intended target was Avery Iverson. Snap comes, drops back.
Good coverage there if you watch that.
That one incomplete. Yep, good job by Elijah Ward. By the senior, timing that jump to perfection and able to get up there and force the incompletion. 3rd down and 6. This ball lined up at the 17. And it's Long again stepping out there, probably going to look his way. He's lined up here on the near side alongside Adams. Thompson in the pistol. Snap comes, drops back, looks to throw, fires the other way, and that one's intercepted. Matty Speckman has a chance down the near side of the field, has some blockers ahead of him. He's got Miles Richardson blocking, and he cuts inside, nearly trips up on his own 2 feet, has a few more to go. Able to beat 1 more, and Matty Speckman, touchdown, Knights, 99-yard. There are flags down on the field. This one likely going to be coming back. It should still count for a Knights interception. The intended receiver just seemed to get tripped up on Spackman's feet. It's likely going to be Knight's ball, but just no touchdown. A great effort, though, by Matty Spackman to take that one back, but unfortunately his effort's likely going to be walked off. It should be Knight's football as the flags seem to come in after the interception. Fans wanting for pass interference, but I'm sure we can see on the replay, nothing there.
See what the refs. Oh.
Really, that play just kind of seemed the same way that Elijah Ward and Avery Iverson's feet got entangled on the touchdown for Grace Point. It kind of seemed the same way there, except this time it was Matty Spackman, the man who was able to come down with it.
See what the call is, and we'll try to bring up the replay.
Head official, we'll see what he says. That's going to be a block in the back against the Knights. That's still going to be Knights football. We'll watch it again on the replay. The thing with pass interference is usually you'll see a push off is the most common thing called. Matty Spackman didn't seem to have his hands on the receiver at all. We'll watch it after we get this first play from the Knights. Able to get a turnover on the opening drive of Grace Baptist. Brendan Tormey, the lone receiver to the near side. Snap comes. It's going to be a pitch to the outside brought down by Corey Murphy. Not a lot of room to work. Trying to push the pile forward, and a great effort by the Knights front. And they have about 7 on that first down. Great push and a great effort by the Knights up front, just showing their physical strength.
Looking back at that interception.
Yeah, we'll watch it again. Ball thrown to the outside and just a trip. Nothing there at all. We'll see Spackman almost get tripped up as well right there. And no hand fighting at all between the two. So good no call by the officials. Knights looking to try and regain a 2-possession lead. Corey Murphy in the backfield behind Peyton Leach, pistol formation, snap, and the ball's on the ground. Murphy somehow picks it up, puts it in stiff arm, trying to get around the edge, and is brought down by Long, but it looks like he's going to have enough for the first down. No idea how Murphy was able to pick that ball up that quickly, and there is a lot of fighting. And that's Cole Mason. He got involved with Mac Mills earlier in this game. We'll watch it again on the replay. He's been very heated up. And you've got all the coaching staff from Ezekiel out on the field, including the team doctor. And the coach heated at Hunter Wilson, it seems, too. Trying to get both these teams separated. We'll see what went down on the replay, maybe, if we can get it.
Yeah, we'll get that.
But Cole Mason he got involved with Mac Mills earlier with what seemed to be nothing. The tackle didn't involve him at all. And Corey Murphy tried to get up. And we see him just come up there and shove Corey Murphy for no reason. That should be a flag going against Grace Baptist. I mean, just unprovoked for Mason. I don't really quite understand what he was thinking there.
Referee's trying to sort it out.
And the head coach is stepping out into the field, trying to talk this one over. Handshake initiated by Hunter Wilson. And Murphy seemed to do nothing wrong initially. And they're going to talk this one over. And they're going to try and get the replay here.
All right.
Well, for the Knights' point of view, it seemed like Corey Murphy did nothing wrong. He was on the ground when Mills came up to try and shove him. The referee's going to discuss this one over.
We'll take a look at it from another vantage point.
Yeah, Murphy went down without incident, just got tackled. A good open field tackle by Long. And Murphy seemed to get up, and then just a couple of players come in to shove him down.
Yeah, it looks like one of the players touched, and then it
looked like one player touched him maybe to possibly help him up, but Mason came in and bumped him from behind and then forced him to kind of shove him into Corey Murphy. But again, that's not the first time Mason has tried to initiate some kind of
the referees
something. And talking this one over with the head coaches, the head referee, of course, looking at the replay. And I don't feel like any of the Knights could be really at fault for this, to be honest. We'll see what the officials see, though.
First time we've had a replay here.
We had one last year, actually, too, in the championship game. Austin Gay ended up receiving a punch in that play, and one of the coaches getting walked off the field as well. He seemed to initiate with Hunter Wilson, yelling at him from across the field. He seemed to be trying to get it calmed down. His headset off now and walking away down to our left.
And this just, takes the momentum out of the game.
Yeah, for the Knights, it's going to slow down their game a little bit, but they'll probably take a 15-yard penalty. And we don't usually see it or ask for it, but you could get an ejection from Mason. It's kind of the second time he's initiated something with the Knights. And again, Corey Murphy just seemed to really do nothing. The first time was with the kicker, Mac Mills, who got run over at the end of an extra point, and then Mason tried to initiate something with him as well.
Yeah, we'll look at that one more time from this angle here.
See, initially it looked like
just kind of
hands on, and then Mason comes over there and a full arm extension with that right hand. I mean, it's not a lot, but either way, you shouldn't be doing that. We'll see it right there, the push down.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's pretty blatantly obvious. Again, it's not a lot, but it's definitely uncalled for. And then we saw a couple of the coaches get heated with Hunter Wilson and the Knights coaching staff as they try to bring him off the field. And like I said, one of those coaches got walked away from the Grace Baptist sideline.
You guys probably saw it better than anybody here, so if you want to throw it in the comments, you go right ahead. We try to let the referees do the best they can.
I'm sure Hunter Bowden has a few words to say in there.
I can hear Daryl Spears all the way from wherever he is.
And of course, this is a last game for a lot of these seniors, so a lot of emotion out there for a lot of these guys, but that does not exactly make it appropriate to initiate any kind of incident after a play.
You know, and for the most part, the refs for this game has been a pretty good game.
Yeah, they had the one questionable maybe touchdown call that was waved off after an ineligible receiver flag came down. And looking at the replay, it probably was an ineligible receiver. The head referee stepping back onto the field. We'll see what they have to say. Again, like I said, from our perspective, the Knights didn't really seem to have anything untoward to do about it, or didn't initiate anything. And if nothing else, there should just be a personal foul coming up against Grace Baptist. Referee's lengthy discussion with all the other officials and the head coaches. And they're saying the coaches pointing for the teams, and this game looks like it might be over. This game is over.
Game?
Wow. Well, the Ezekiel Knights will win it, and Grace Baptist, after an excellent season, don't exactly paint themselves with any kind of glory here.
Well,
this game is going to end.
This is very unusual.
And that is not exactly what you want to be.
We're going to stay. We'll stay on, and we're going to try to find out what happened with the game and why this game is ending in the third quarter.
And unfortunately, you see one of the players that initiated the contact, Cole Mason, walking away from the line, not giving high fives to anybody, and he's the first man off the field. That is not the way to, and he flipped off somebody in the corner over there. Holy cow.
So we are.
Wow, that is
a lot of contra.
That is not the way you want to end your senior season.
You've got a good football game going on here. And
I mean, it was a competitive game. That's the thing. We could have had a fantastic end of the season, but wow.
I have not Never seen a game into the third quarter.
Most of the
like
Grace Baptist
this,
players
just
are Pierce Smith walking over, giving a handshake to every Knights player. So good for him. That's a good show of sportsmanship. And this game really proceeded without incident, except for the one time that Mason and Mills, after colliding together, Mason tried to give words with the Ezekiel kicker Mac Mills, and then at the end of this game, Corey Murphy was shoved down with about 7 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the third quarter. And after talking it over with the coaches, this game has been ended. The Knights, I suppose, will win it 29-24 in what is the last game of the season, but also probably the craziest ending we've ever seen on BP1 Sports.
And we're gonna stay here for a little bit and see if we can find out exactly what prompted.
We'll see if we can maybe get an interview with Coach Hunter Wilson, but it didn't really seem anything untoward. No punches were thrown.
No.
You know, likely no ejections were called. From the most part, it should just be an unnecessary roughness at the end of a play. But like I said, for Grace Baptist, that is a very unfortunate way to end what could have been a fantastic season. Winning a state championship, of course, but ending a little bit in disgrace of this game. It's only a consolation game, but that's a rough one to walk away from if you're Grace Baptist. And the Knights will finish their season with this consolation game win and a state championship ring. We're going to hang on here for a few minutes and see if we can't get head coach Hunter Wilson up here to the stands and maybe talk us over a little bit of what happened here. Usually there's some confusion with officials because we have no referee mics, but
I think even if we had a mic, we would still have some confusion. And Coach Wilson's talking it over with the fans on their side of the field as Grace Baptist comes off with a very good season. I mean, they've got a championship. They made it here, and
yeah, man,
a very good team.
Of course,
and they're missing one of their key players. So
missing a starting quarterback, but like I said, again, this game was very tight coming down the stretch, and just maybe some. Maybe just heat of the moment kind of things to do involved in a football game. But definitely the wildest and strangest ending we have ever seen to an Ezekiel Knights football game.
We'll see if we can Coach Hunter Wilson and Coach Drakowski, I believe, walking across the field.
Of course, Hunter Bowden missing, but I'm sure he's down there in the YouTube comments somewhere.
Has been commenting.
We'll see Hunter Wilson walking back across from left to right of our field. See one of our cameramen going out there to try and maybe get an interview with him after he talks it over with his team. But we're going to stay here for a few more minutes and see if we can't dissect. I suppose we could run back and see what initiated this whole thing at the end of the game. But the Evangel Lightning are going to take the field against the Freedom Cowboys a little bit ahead of schedule, it seems. Their kickoff scheduled, I believe, at 4 o'clock.
Yeah, you're just, we're hanging in here as some very strange events have taken place. We'll bring back the incident that caused everything.
And the final's going to be, I believe, 24-29 to the Knights. But
yeah, we'll bring up the.
We'll
see the final there.
Maybe watch it again just to see if we can.
And here's what started it all.
Yeah, a pretty untoward run from Corey Murphy. Ran for a first down for the Knights. Not exactly something we haven't seen before. And a good open field tackle by one of the better players for Grace Baptist on the day, Long. And then here was the contact that initiated everything. A shove, you know, it wasn't a lot in it, but definitely a shove from Cole Mason, who had an incident earlier with Mac Mills, the Ezekiel Knights kicker, and that led to a lengthy discussion with the referees. They looked over the replay a couple of times, and then after that, once the referees went and talked it over with the head coaches, the Grace Baptist head coaches said to their team, we're walking off the field. So I don't know if that was a consensus decision or if that was a coach's decision or what, but
he can.
the wildest ending to an Ezekiel Knights football game I think we have ever seen.
Yeah, we can. I think Anthony would go up there.
Knights talking it over. Of course, had a fantastic season themselves. Ends in a very strange manner.
Okay, we can hold on.
But Knights going to claim their second state championship ring. Beat Evangel twice this year, and Evangel now going to go play for a national championship. So,
and I know, Coach, we're waiting. Coach Hunters, I think, will give us a little bit of an interview and insight to what happened.
Hold on, run it back. Where you want me at?
And if you're just joining us and expecting to watch an Ezekiel football game, unfortunately, you're a little bit too late.
Okay.
This game will be, of course, put up on YouTube in its HD version. So,
yeah, you'll got the live stream here. Hunter Wilson's going to come up and join us here in a few minutes and maybe give some insight to what happened there at the end of the game.
Of course.
You look on the field now and you see Freedom Cowboys getting ready to take on Evangel Lightning for the Division I championship.
Yeah, that was the most bizarre event I think I've ever seen in 8-man football, and there have been some weird ones. We're done after this, so y'all are all good.
I think I might take you upstairs. You're good. Thank y'all. Y'all good luck.
And we're just going to wait on an interview with Coach Hunter Wilson. Wind's starting to pick up a little bit here as the sun starting to set here in Panama City on what was an excellent day for football. I mean, it was about as good as it gets, and the game was equally as entertaining.
Yeah, outstanding game.
I mean, Knights got a turnover late there in the Grace Baptist drive. Got a turnover, tried to turn that turnover into 6 more points, but
a lot of people still hanging around, so waiting for that interview. So
yeah, I'm sure everyone's about as curious as we are here.
As we get a crowd coming around us for the next game. See the team.
Of course, this being the final game of the season, Coach Wilson going to give his team a little bit of a talk to, as that one ends in a very odd way. But we didn't even get to say, full credit to that coaching staff that brought a team that was 2-2 initially.
Yeah, no doubt.
To beat Evangel twice, one of those for a state championship, and they claimed their second ring in 2 years. And then, of course, getting the invite here to the national championship. Here's Hunter Wilson coming up at the moment.
And here is actually that. See if I can bring the coaching staff in. So yeah, all right, we've got Coach Hunter Wilson here. Coach, I guess everybody's wondering tell us what prompted anything. I mean, just tell us the events at the end of the game there.
Well, something happened on the sideline. Y'all can see it a lot better than I could. I don't know. I just saw a big scrum, and I saw one of their coaches grab a couple of our kids, and I ran out there, got in between them, and, he's a grown man that wants to mess with kids. Of course, he cowered down when I ran out there, but had a couple of assistant coaches run over. I had a couple of players run off the sideline. Well, Coach Ateka and myself, we said, hey, if they're going to start ejecting everybody for a little, it was a football play. They threw that coach out that came and touched one of our kids, and I was content with that. Well, then he comes out there and says, hey, we're going to throw 42 and 34 out for you, which that's one of our starting linebackers and a starting he started at tight end. He's been playing a lot, Wesley Spear. They threw them out for leaving the sideline. Then they threw Corey Murphy, Peyton Leach, Brennan Tormey, and Peyton Patchell out as well.
So they threw basically all of your seniors out of the game for having nothing to do with what initiated the problem.
You know, they claimed all 4 of those guys threw a punch, and I said, well, now, hey, Murphy was on the bottom of the pile. He said, hey, I got video review, 7 threw a punch. I said, okay. I saw, you know, I'm
right, Coach, we got a video right here. Take a look at it.
Well, I'll take your word for it. Did Peyton Leach throw a punch?
Not that I saw.
And then we'll pull up the review. You can see it on the screen here. It was tough to tell. I mean, it's football. We just figured the game would go on. There would be a 15-yard penalty.
Well, Coach Ateka, you know, he made a big move there because they threw our 6 players out, and he stopped the ref and said, "We're out of here." And I said, you know what? I'm with you. Now we're lucky because I checked with the refs to see who got thrown out from them, and they only had 2 players get ejected. And
I imagine it was 11 and probably the number 5, I would suppose.
50. 11 and 50. So we were fortunate because we were about to lose 5 starters. They were going to lose 2, but those you know, 5 of those 5, a couple of them had been a big contributor. So Coach Tagan, you may have seen us standing out on the sideline together, and we said, hey, listen. If they come out and try to throw a bunch of kids out and stuff, that's not what this is about. This is about, you know, the seniors and stuff like that. If they start throwing a bunch of kids out, let's shake hands, go to the house, and just call it a no contest. Now, the tricky part for me is I've got to figure out how to input stats in a no contest. But, you know, I personally, I think that was the best thing to do. The refs refused to control it. 11 was over on the sideline earlier, running his mouth. He's been talking the whole game. And the refs just refused.
Well, we saw an incident with him and Mac Mills earlier in the game as well on the extra point. He came up and had words with your starting kicker over what seemed to be nothing. It was an extra point kick. It seemed fine, and he wanted to have words with him then. So it seemed like he liked to start a lot of the contact, but and again, he kind of started this one as well. We saw Corey Murphy on the ground. He got shoved a few times, and we saw a couple of his senior teammates step in there and try and defend your man on the ground, but we didn't see many punches thrown or anything like that. Well, from our point of view,
there's been plenty of reviews. We've had a lot of camera angles, and I'm sure you'll go back and watch it, and the crowd at home's watching. But so moving on, you've had a good season. It's been I mean, I know you don't. The win, the loss the other night, I know was a tough one, but you still got to be happy with these guys in the season.
Yeah, 8-3 officially is what we'll end up being. You know, I thought we had a good chance at this one, but at the end of the day, I just with all the kids they took out and stuff. I mean, you're doing this tournament for the seniors. And when they throw the seniors out, we have a senior injured and stuff like that. You hate to see that, but overall, the senior group's meant a ton to Ezekiel. I've been with them since they were in 9th grade. That was my first year here. And, I mean, an 8-3 year, but capped off with a state championship. Got to beat our rivals, the Evangelite, twice. Listen, you can't – that's nothing to shake your head at. It was a roller coaster year. You know, we got down game, I think it was 3-4. I mean, at one point we were 2-2, and we came out and finished 8-2 with a state championship. Listen, there's nothing to hang your head on here. I hate that some poor officiating. I mean, and listen, the season's over, so I can say it now. We've had poor officiating for 10, 11 games this year.
Yeah, and we always look back to the Lighthouse game, a couple of controversial calls in there. And even in this one, we saw an ineligible receiver catch a touchdown, which they initially called but waved off after some type of discussion between the 2 officials. And when we looked back at it, and the number 5 was lined up on the line of scrimmage, 3 men in the offensive line, and then he went down and caught a touchdown, which obviously is not allowed. So, like you said, there's been some questionable officiating throughout this whole year, and it kind of culminated here tonight.
Right. You know, I don't excuse – some of the kids deserve to be thrown out. Peyton Leach, you know, based on what they said, they were pretty clear with him and Tormey. Now, 7-22, I was watching 7-22. I'm not sure why they got thrown out. Mm-hmm. They'll send me clips from BP1, and quite frankly, what I teach these kids is it doesn't matter what we see on here. It doesn't matter. As we saw the other day, there was a clear interception and a clear fumble recovery. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. And what I try to drive home to these kids, I know this isn't, you know, teaching moment, but what I try to drive home to these kids is it's not always going to go your way. You've got to fight through it.
Got to stay in there and play the game.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I felt like we were doing a better job of that today. But unfortunately, the officials, the adults in the situation, took that for granted from our side and let it get out of control. And, I mean, as you saw, an adult on their side couldn't handle his emotion. I mean, you see him, you just wonder, you know, the bald head, big muscles. There may be something else in that may have contributed to that. But, I hate that, but Coach Take at Grace I respect a lot because I felt like that was a big thing to do in his situation, and it hurts. I'll be honest, as a head coach, it's something you don't think about, but I just took a quarter and a half of football away from some seniors that.
Well, and Corey Murphy was on the verge of breaking a single season, a career touchdown record as well. That's held by Noble Sefton, so Noble will hang on to that record for the foreseeable future. But like you said, you got a lot of seniors out there who aren't going to get a finish off their season with a good handshake and a good end, really. I mean, obviously, like you said, you've won state championship now for 2 years in a row, able to defend it against a rival in Evangel Lightning. But I think the thing that hurts more is, like you said, just not able to get these guys back out there for one and a half more quarters of football.
Right, yeah. I mean, it's tough. I hate it, but, I will agree with Coach Take. The officials weren't going to do anything. They just want to start throwing people out. And unfortunately, they threw, 3 times as many of my players out as their players. And it didn't really make much sense to me. I didn't pull the trigger on it, but I did agree to it. I thought that was the responsible thing to do. It's a consolation game. There's no reason to put kids in more risk and more danger. And I'm going to have a lot of parents that are mad that I said, hey, let's just squash it. But, I felt like that was the reasonable thing to do in that situation. And again, Laguna Beach Resort did a great job. NHSA tournament did a great job. But I just think I'm not one to do this publicly or on the record or anything, but I just think we've got to look at the officiating. The officiating calls that kids will be kids. That coach just came off the sideline really to defend his kids, but he took it a lot too far. And, but the NHSA has to do better if they want to continue to get people down here of getting refs. I mean, I had one tell me point blank, Coach, I've just been at work all day. I really just want to get this over with. Well, I get it. Officiating is a hard, thankless job.
Very thankless.
And I understand that. But at the same time, this was some kid's last game. There's kids out there that will never – and you need to treat it. You need to treat it with that respect instead of, hey, man, I've been at work. I'm tired. Don't talk to me. I mean, I had him tell me literally, don't talk to me about that. I've been at work all day. I said, well, you chose to come out here and do this. And so I really think we need to think about, what just happened to those kids. Now, granted, the refs did not, first and foremost, the refs didn't choose to cancel that game. The head coaches did. But that was a result of the decision they made.
Well, and it's a lot of the time we do see that in football is the initiated contact doesn't usually get punished as much as the retaliation. We saw that Peyton Leach on the replay definitely had a physical altercation with one of the kids out there, but that was in defending another senior player and a star player for the Knights in Corey Murphy. And Corey Murphy was on the bottom of the pile. I don't exactly know how you can throw him out of a game after he got initially shoved, and one of their players should have just been ejected immediately, and this game probably should have just continued with 1 or 2 ejections off of their side rather than punishing the retaliation from guys like Peyton Leach. And again, maybe by Corey Murphy, but we couldn't really see much of that.
Right. Well, Peyton Patch and Corey Murphy didn't do anything. I had my eyes on them the whole time, but I don't know how they made that decision, but they made it. And as I've said all year to the guys, there's no reason stomping and screaming and hollering. You don't see me arguing like that because they're not going to change their mind.
Well, we did see down here on the field the coach who did get tossed out of the game. We saw him throw a few choice words your way, and you kind of did your classic walk-off and kind of laugh it off kind of thing at the moment. But once you start putting hands on kids that aren't on your sideline, and that's when it becomes an actual issue.
Yeah, if he would have acted on it, you ought to saw. I'd probably resorted back to my speed. I hope it's still there because he was mighty upset. But I think he just. I'm sure he'll go back and be embarrassed because Grace Baptist Academy they're a top of the line and I know that's not what they represent. Coach Take apologized to me for it. I mean, he did make some excuses about, well, he was just trying to defend our kids, but, cussing me out isn't defending your kids. But anyways, I know that that's not what Grace Baptist embodies, just like Ezekiel doesn't embody that kind of stuff. So it was just, tempers were flaring. You had two teams that were upset and mad at our situations. Everybody, you ask, even the tournament director down here said, Coach, I really thought this was going to be the championship game, and we're in the consolation game. So I do think that I think that fed into some of the frustration, especially on their side.
Coach, we've got your Coach Bowden's been watching in, and so he's giving you a shout out. Basically says I love Coach Wilson. So I know he's still he's been leading up the chat here up from, I guess maybe he's still in Nashville, but
no,
I know
he's back. But
I know you may want to give a shout out to all your coaches. I mean, those guys have done a great job all year. I mean,
yeah.
Most of them don't have kids on the team. You guys are just doing it as volunteers.
Absolutely, man. We thanks for the shout out, Coach Bowden. It's probably a good thing Coach Bowden wasn't here, because he'd have definitely been in the mix, and the kids love that. And you got to defend your kids, and that's why, that's pretty uncharacteristic of me to run across the field and jump in the middle of it. But you got to defend your kids, and that's something we missed this weekend. We definitely missed Coach Bowden a lot. Congratulations to him on his engagement. Coach Nathan did a great job. You noticed today we were able to move the ball a little better. He made some adjustments last night with the run game. I hate Corey didn't get his record, but he did have a pretty good game off the top of my head. Let's see, Coach Brian Drakowski, he's been a special teams coordinator for a while. His kid graduated 2 years ago, so it's special to have him. And those are really my 3 varsity assistants that have been with me the whole time. I want to shout Mr. Andy Patchell out. He's a physician's assistant, and he provides
he's a parent sits in the crowd, and your kid's playing, and he's on the field. It's kind of a relief.
It helps a lot.
Right.
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. He's been a godsend for Ezekiel. I don't know how we're going to replace him next year. He takes care of our guys, keeps them safe, and really helps them recover after games.
We talked to him. We actually ran into him on the beach yesterday, and he said a lot of those guys were stiff as a board, couldn't really get out of bed, and then they go out the next day and end up, maybe on the verge of winning the consolation game 2 days after a very tough game with Freedom. So he obviously does a very good job with recovery for those guys and gets them back to health as good as he can.
Right. BP1 Sports, y'all guys, man, I know everybody watching at home. I know my fiance at home, she's really appreciative of this, and all the other parents and friends. And, I've got a friend in California that logs on, and we really appreciate what you do. And then, having video evidence of some things that otherwise we wouldn't have video evidence of, because, this won't be the end of this incident. So having you guys and supporting us and having that available to us is a huge help. I've got some JV coaches. David Lawrence, John Applin, Ronnie Blunt, David Dingman, they all stepped in and really helped a lot. And then to the parents, we've got a lot of parents that make things happen at Ezekiel.
I mean, you have everything from chain gang to concessions to gate to everything that all these parents step in and make make work, especially at home games.
Right,
so.
Absolutely. It's a long season. I hate it ended like that. We should be in the fourth quarter right now, but we just felt like the safety of the kids, and you want to sit here and say, well, we could have made them act right, but I mean, at the end of the day, if the refs aren't going to do their job, the refs aren't going to officiate. What can we do? I'm not allowed to be out there between the lines. I've taught them and coached them better than that, but at the same time, they're not going to let people just take cheap shots on them, and Grace isn't going to either. I mean, if there's a lot of things. That's the thing about football, man. You rarely admit your side has a cheap shot, and I'm not going to say we did or didn't. I don't know. I haven't watched, but at the end of the day, football, is a physical sport. People are getting hit, people are getting ran over, and a lot of times something's viewed as dirty that's not. So, putting my 9th and 10th graders out there, I just didn't think was going to be good, especially when they had two seniors get ejected and I had 6.
Yeah,
so,
I think that's the biggest thing. We talked about up here, after the shove, a little bit of an incident, you see a flag fly in, maybe just call a personal foul, 15-yard, late hit, and then move on with your game. But unfortunately, that didn't quite play out the way it should have. And like you said, having 6 all seniors ejected, one of them being your star running back and your quarterback, you feel like it's maybe a little bit of an unfair trade-off.
Right, and I mean, let me be clear. I mean, if you don't just quit because the cards are stacked against you, but he and I both said, hey, man, it's probably best if we just get on the bus and leave. And he's been in this a long time. I'm just a volunteer, so I lean on people like that with 30 years of coaching experience. When he said that, I just said, you know what, I agree.
Took it to heart a little bit.
Let's do the right thing here. And I'm going to catch some flack, and I'm okay with that. I can sleep at night knowing that all my kids are walking off healthy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because in a game like that where the refs aren't going to control the game, I've got guys that are going into basketball, guys that have bright futures, and I would hate for a dirty chop block or another
late hit.
Yeah, so I hate it. I hate that's how the season ended. I was proud of the way the guys fought today.
Yep, good job on getting the guys motivated to come back out to play. That's tough after coming 2 days after a tough loss like it was and coming out playing. But you guys, I mean, some successful seasons, and you know, it's a well-built. The program is building, so you know, Ezekiel football has a lot to be proud of.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go celebrate this season tomorrow. I'm gonna take a couple weeks, and then we're gonna get back into. I mean, I've got to order all the equipment for next year by the second week of December, so we go right back into it.
All right, Coach. Thanks for coming up, join us, give us some insight on that, and congratulations on your season.
Thank you so much.
And that is just about going to do it.
Yeah, a wild ending there to I guess a consolation game ending in the third quarter.
I believe officially it ended in a no contest, I want to say.
So everybody, you know, everybody can go back, and we've got all the video. You can kind of be the judge of what happened. But regardless, Ezekiel Knights finished with a very good season. And I would like to thank our crew. Got Benjamin Baumgartner, who's been doing play-by-play and announcing and managed to keep his voice for today.
It's been a rough one today. If I sound more nasally than I have before, I apologize.
We have Jeff Lindsay sat in and on the cam you see now, the wide cam, and did a great job. First time doing it. He sat in today for Daryl Spears. So obviously have to say a big shout out to Daryl Spears, who's been doing this a long time. He couldn't be here today. I know he hates it, but he has been a part of the Knights family and part of BP1 for a long time.
Everybody around Ezekiel knows Daryl Spears.
Yeah, Daryl Spears. He's been camera, play-by-play, tech support. He'd huddle, which is the coach's film. He gets that going. So Daryl has done a huge job for Ezekiel Sports over the years. So big shout out to him. Got Brock Baumgartner, who's been on the our Zoom cam, tight cam, usually our second cam we go to. And some of those shots you see, I go back and watch, and I'm just amazed that he's able to follow the plays.
A lot of the times we've been able to make the calls because of a lot of things that he's shot.
Yeah, a lot of those plays you see and the slow-mo that you see comes from those cameramen. Travis Hill's been on the field this year helping us out, running the field cam, and he's been picking up a lot of he picked up that interception yesterday right in front of him, so some great shots there. And Travis made the trip down with us and filmed the game, so a big shout out to him.
And of course a big shout out to Earl Baumgartner, who kind of puts all this together. Many sleepless nights trying to figure out how to make this not only easier to broadcast but better to watch and better to enjoy some high school football with.
So with that, guys, this is our final broadcast of Ezekiel football for this season. We're going to get ready for some basketball. A lot of basketball games coming up, so be sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you'll be able to see some Ezekiel basketball. We're going to do as many as we can.
It is a long schedule, 40 games, I believe. I think a few of them have already been played, but a lot of these football guys will now move over to basketball. Peyton Patchell, Bradley Baumgartner, Miles Richardson joining the team for this season, and a handful of others. A lot of seniors are going to be on that basketball team as well.
And thank you to you guys out there watching us. We appreciate the support over the past year chiming in. So with any final words, Benjamin Baumgartner?
Just a big shout out to our seniors. Last time suiting up for the Ezekiel Knights.
Yeah, great job this year.
Might be the last time they get to suit up and put on pads if they don't move on to the next level of football, which a lot of these guys can, but they all have their own interests in personal pursuits that they want to take on. I'm sure you've seen a lot of that through the senior spotlights. So obviously a big shout out to them. Walking away, some of them with 2 state championship rings, beat Evangel for the first time in their history. A lot of those guys making history this year. Corey Murphy, Hunter Wilson also breaking records for Ezekiel Knights. So just a huge shout out to the team that initially, went 2-2 and looked like we always talked, after games and said, we could be in a little bit of trouble this season, but they were able to dig deep and find a way to win a state championship. Unfortunately, for these seniors, the season ended the way that it did with this game after maybe some poor decisions from officiating and some coaching staff.
And there's that's a one final shot of the team over there across the field. Probably a final speech by Hunter, maybe some players and coaches. So with that, guys, we're going to leave it here. We've got to get back. There's a football banquet tomorrow night. But thank you for joining in. It's been a crazy game. Thanks for joining us here on BP1 Sports. See you soon.